Bang, bang. Right? That's the mic check. That's the mic check. Bang, bang. Wait, mic's good, right? Okay, good. Mic's good. All right. Cool. Pleasant. Excellent. YouTube's working. Twitch is working. I think we're gonna be okay, guys. What is up, everyone? This is Coffee with Soul. I'm your host. We're gonna chat. We're gonna talk. In a bit, not immediately, but in a bit, I'm gonna need a little bit of your guys' help. I wanted to. All of a sudden, I got lazy about doing that write-up on, hey, what to do when you're bored with WoW. In the face of like delve stuff, because we're able to get like enough information that I'm like, okay, I can squeeze out a guide or like a preview, not so much a guide. I can't really tell you what to do or how to do it, but I can give folks a pretty beefy preview of what's to come this season, which isn't going to be like as revolutionary or like as like, whoa, look at all this mind-blowing stuff that's coming with like tank brand and all that, because we're not going to get that sort of equivalent, but there are some things to learn, some things to find out, some things to dread and maybe get excited about. So I hope you'll help me with that in just a bit. But first, good morning. What's up, dude? Just another day. Nah, that's the word. I feel like that's like some of the worst things you can tell yourself. It's just another day. It's kind of demotivating when you just tell yourself, oh, you're just going through the motions, just trying to get by, making it from one day to the next, yada, yada, yada. It's the reality of things, right? But at the same time, it's like, oh man, we got to try and be excited for like, oh, what might be new? What new thing can we maybe look forward to? And sometimes we got to convince ourselves to be a little bit positive in the face of crushing reality and all that stuff. So that's why I try to be here to be your mini escape from the harshness of reality. And instead we deal with the monotony of everyday WoW stuff. So. Hope everyone's doing good. Let's say hi to people. What's up to Dorothy, the first person to say hi. What is up to Arcadius and Puddle Jumper, to Arunas, to Ghosty and Mark, and Valandria, to Daniel and Mary and Minor Headlines, and to the rest of y'all, the beautiful digital smiling faces who are going to be joining us throughout the day. All I ever ask for really is to like, hey, just drop by, say hi real quick. That's always cool. It's always fun to see people come into chat, whether it's YouTube or over on Twitch for like the first time. That's always a lot of fun, and I always appreciate that. So feel free, whichever. Damn, I feel like you're streaming late. I did start late because I'm using a different protocol client thing to do the multi-stream stuff, which is working fine, but there's like hiccups when you get started, and they're like some small annoyances that I need to like get over. But that's some behind the scenes brouhaha, nothing that I'm like really worried about. Hi, real quick. Hey, that's cool. Thank you to Blaze, or should I go with Blah J? Blah J. What's up, Jungus? And again, to the rest of y'all, I appreciate folks who are coming by to like say hi and everything. It's a beautiful day in Georgia. Can't wait to learn something new today. That's cool. No, that is legit cool. I'm hoping that in an hour and 18 minutes we learn more about player housing, which I doubt, but I tell myself this every day because that is what keeps me going. Otherwise, what is there? Blaze is the first time. Cool, I'll go with that. Yay, thanks. I try to do that. Living here in California, or living anywhere where you have a very diverse population, you learn quickly that the name that you see isn't necessarily, well, the name that you see, you start to gain a certain aptitude, I guess, aptitude proficiency, where you start to like, okay, how do I come at this? Now, when you see these names in chat, which may or may not be the name that you were born with, like if your parents gave you, if your parents named you minor headlines, that's cool. Sure. Am I gonna PvP? I don't know. Do I hate myself right now? I'm not a big PvPer, by the way. I PvP with a purpose. I'm a PV purpose, whatever. I'm doing it for a shield, so we might get to that, which is cool. Because that's definitely one of my forever goals in this game. Soon it's going to be housing, but whatever. When I was saying my brother bought StarCraft and loved the house, I ran in, opened it, and installed it. I slapped the keyboard for a name, and this is what came up. Well, that's funny. Funny enough, one day, I think I was like in second grade. So this is like, God, this is like in the 60s now. Like one day, like I how on the first day of school, some of you deal with this. First day of school, you're assigned a book. And like, okay, all right, class, like put your name on the book or write it in like the sticker pad or whatever. And each of your books has a number. Make sure you remember your number. And I forgot what book it was now, but I was given a book and I saw the number 31 on it. And that was my book number. My book number was 31. And then I just decided that's my number. That's it. I don't know. Some people have a thing. Like some people are like, oh, that's my color. Or that's my, whatever. Or that's my number. In this case, I just decided that's it. I'm claiming that. That's mine. And every time I see 31, that's going to feel like special every time. And sometimes I'll run into like those funny coincidences. I don't know how this came up with you like slamming the keyboard and coming up with a name, but it's just like that moment of randomness. It's like, you know what? Good enough. I'll take that. So that's why 31 is my number. And now you're that much closer to knowing all my passwords. I'm just kidding. 31's not my number. Anyway, so I have a Delve guide, or a Delve preview thing. I'm whipping it together. It's very far along, but I'm not done. And I could use a little bit of your help. Or you can just, or maybe you could just like follow along. So I have a lot of it done. I have a lot of it, a lot of stuff written down, a lot of information to spout out to people. I want to get this thing out maybe today, maybe in the afternoon. But if there's like some cool news thing to react to, then I'll be like, all right, cool. I'll push everything aside, react to stuff, get the hits, and then I'll put this thing out for like the morning. And I'll take my time. But what I want your help with, maybe you guys can follow along, and we'll go over a bunch of these Delve trinkets. There are, let's see, 3. I haven't sorted these, and so I'm probably gonna go in these in a not, in no particular order, like whatever. I'll figure it out. There are 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 trinkets to look at. There's 2 that are not available on this vendor person here. And so we're going to just take a look at the trinkets that I was able to buy, and then there are links that I can pull up to. Yeah, I'll just pull them. Actually, let me go off to like some far and away place now, just so I can not have to deal with the people. I'm like, oh, gross. So let's go like here, nice and far away from stuff. So there's that. There's like this trinket here, and then there is one more that I'll pull up, and there's that trinket there. So let me also make this thing bigger. Oh yeah, bigger. Perfect. Perfect. Yes, this is what people want to see in the video. Inventory gore. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. No, what they really want to see is big ass tooltips, so that way it's easy to read. Yeah, smart. I love the videos. You got the more calming voice and also structure in your videos. Very nice to watch while art arming. Thank you, Mark. Thank you for falling for the deception. My structure, I am so chaotic. I feel ridiculously disorganized. Look at my inventory. That's me, right? That's what's in my head. Garbage and all that. What's up, Peter? What's up to all? Okay, so how do I want to do this? So the plan is, there's already stuff that I'm talking about with like, hey, here's like the new curios, here's what's going on, here's what I think about them so far, here's the delve, yada yada yada, here's what's going on with the brand, etc. And then we get to this part where I talk about like the trinkets, and then you guys will be like following along a little bit, you know, if you feel like it. Otherwise, I'm just gonna be like, I just wanted to be a little bit more improv-y while I do this instead of have to type out the whole thing. I get lazy, as you could tell. All right. Why am I stretching as if I'm like preparing for like this big thing? Okay, so we're going to take a look at the trinkets coming from Delves. Some of these I was able to get from the vendor. 2 of them I was not able to, so we're going to look at those first. And then we're just going to see what we think about them. Have chat with me. We'll see if they happen to chime in with any input. If so, great. If not, well, it's the morning anyway. That's what I get for starting this kind of thing so early. So we have the Essence Hunter's Eyeglass. This is an in thing, and it's a proc guy. Your spell and ability crit strikes have a high chance to grant you Arcane Hunter up to 5 times, increasing your ranged abilities and spells crit strike rating by 1500 crit rating, which for item level 610, you know, that's what we're seeing right now. It's going to be a lot more, you know, in the 700s or so. So this is going to be fairly significant. This might mean, you know, basically just a strong overall trinket that gives passive main stats and crit for those who like crit. Not bad. And keep in mind, these are delve trinkets. So, you know, there are some cooler trinkets that are going to be coming out for like dungeons and raids and everything. But especially because there may be a vendor that lets you sell, that sells these kinds of trinkets, this can be potentially very, very cool. Again, it just really depends on what kind of gear track these trinkets are going to be on. Is it going to be like veteran? Is it going to be hero? It's not going to be myth, because I don't think we're going to see myth, and you know, these other trinkets, they only max out at hero anyway. Observer's Soul Fetters. This is a crit trinket with a passive. You can understand demonic. Cool. That's kind of a cool warlock trinket. And it has an on use. We don't know the cooldown of it, but you release the fetters to empower your soul, increasing your, well, maybe int if you happen to be a warlock and you want to be, you know, role play, I suppose. And it's for 20 seconds, not super long, but with the scaling, you know, like almost double this, then this one might be kind of cool. Another thing stolen from warlocks. Holy priests will use this. Paladins will use this. Sure, why not? The language is ours now. Okay, so let's move on to the trinkets that we do have here, which will give us a little bit better of an idea of what the stats and scaling are going to be like. So, starting off with the Void Touched Fragment. It's an all-around trinket. Your home for spells and abilities have a chance to grant you a fragment or a buff. Slaying an enemy guarantees a fragment, and once you get 15 of them, so I'm going to guess this happens maybe like, I don't know, every minute or so. You absorb their energy, increasing your mastery by quite a bit for 10 seconds. So something that feels good inside, you know, like the likes of Delves or Mythic Plus dungeons, really depends on just how much stuff you're killing. And it really depends on like how often is that proc going to go up that's going to give you that uptime on mastery, because that's a lot of mastery. I have a feeling it's not going to be like that much. So not something that I'd rely on for like dungeons or raids, but inside a delve, this would be like just a cool, like, oh, let's go, you know, whenever it happens to go on. So, all right. Soulbreaker's Sigil. And another all-around trinket. Your harmful spells and abilities have a chance to fracture the enemy's soul, dealing damage over 10 seconds. If the enemy dies, you absorb their lingering energy, increasing your verse by 5,000 something for 10 seconds. This is a weird one. So it's an okay kind of dot. Not sure if it happens to like apply to like a bunch of mobs or with AoE or something like that. This might just be like a single target thing. But if it dies, you get some extra verse, which is like cool. But it doesn't exactly pull off like the whole like ooh, kill streak, you know, and then you start like pumping and destroying like a whole bunch of dudes at once. So this one's like just kind of okay, I think. 5,000 verse seems very low. I don't know how it budgets with like the damage that it deals, but oh well. Moving on to the Chaotic Nethergate Mastery Trinket. It's an on-use with a 2-minute cooldown. When you use it, it floods your location, so I guess immediately around you, with mana, dealing damage every 1 second for 10 seconds, and it heals people, heals up to 8 people. So it's consecration, but, you know, void stuff. It's all right. 2-minute cooldown, though, that's kind of long. Now it's that much damage every second, which is like kind of okay. The heal is pretty pathetic. The heal's pretty sad. Not the kind of thing that I would use. But hey, if you happen to get it and you got nothing else at the time, you know, that's not a bad thing to fall onto. And there might be certain situations where having that kind of AoE would be useful. Who knows? Moving on to the Symbiotic Ether Gauze, a tanking trinket. This is one that I've been using on the PTR actually. It has enough stam to equal that of, let's see, not exactly, I guess like a item level 700 for, like, if these pants were item level 700, it'd be like kind of close to the kind of stamina that you get out of it. So it's a stam trinket, which is already kind of a turnoff for a lot of people, but blocking, parrying, or dodging has a chance to awaken the gauze, causing it to lash out, dealing damage split between nearby enemies while shielding you for 2.8 million damage for 15 seconds. From the limited testing that I've done, this thing procs kind of a lot, as long as you're blocking, parrying, and dodging stuff. So if you can do all three, hey, great. Bears can dodge more, but they don't block, right? So those are the kind of things that you have to think about depending on like the kind of tank that you want to have wear this. I think it's kind of cool because I'm a big stickler for trinkets and other effects that do actual defensive stuff as opposed to, oh, I just want to do more damage. But it does do quite a bit of passive damage as well to enemies. And maybe it's like a good threat holder or something like that too. So this is a fun one. Mana Forged Aether Cell. We're moving on, by the way. This is an int trinket. Your healing, okay, it's a healing trinket. Your healing abilities have a chance to power the Aether Cell, increasing your mastery by quite a bit, decreasing by something each second, and it lasts for, so basically it, you know, it goes down and then it becomes 0. So it fully decays. That's not bad. It's a lot of main stat that you get out of this thing. The mastery is cool for healers that rely a lot on their mastery, but for those who don't, literal trash, you know, so that's how that goes. Let's see, let's see, Modern Headlines was saying that this one's good for a pot paladin. I think this would be good for like most tanks, you know, who happen to like dodge or parry more often than other tanks might. So maybe for a monk it might not be as good because they just take it and stagger it off. So but then back to this one real quick. Yeah, this one's not bad. Yeah, I think this would be like a cool one. It has a nice like front loaded like oomph whenever it happens to proc, if it procs. Moving on, this one's depowered. This one is called the Miniature Reishi Sand Guarding. It is another healing trinket. Your healing abilities have a chance to grant yourself 5 swirls of disturbed sands, with each swirl giving 5 something haste. 1 swirl decays every 4 seconds until the sands dissipate. So it's kind of this, isn't it? This is the Aether Cell gives mastery and it decreases, lasts for 15 seconds. This one gives haste, and this one and it decays every 4 seconds until it goes away. But then it's just like it's different math, right? Because you get 5 of these charges, so that's 2,500 haste with this item level, and then you know it goes away once every then it goes away in 5 ticks over 4 seconds per tick, you know, whatever. So yeah, same thing. Cool. I wonder if this will, if one of these will push the other out. But then it's mastery versus haste, so it's just like, okay, whatever you feel like having. Moving on to the Veiling Mana Shroud. It's a strength trinket, taking damage, so tanky stuff. Taking damage has a chance for the Shroud's enchantments to enhance your prowess, granting 5,000 verse for 12 seconds. I'm a weird paladin. I reject versatility, so to me this has like no value. But maybe for like a druid or not really a PvP situation. You'd rather wear PvP trinkets. So this one's like okay. I'd say this one's like this kind of dull, but it's better than nothing. If the proc rate's good and you can have like really high uptime, then it's like, oh, okay. Then you get like a nice boost to your verse on top of having some really good main stat bonuses. Moving on to the depleted Koreshi battery. This is an all-around trinket. Your harmful spells and abilities have a chance for the battery to drain the life force of the enemy, inflicting arcane damage every 2.3 seconds for 12 seconds. So not quite 6 ticks, not quite 4, something like that. So yeah, you get a number of ticks. That's kind of whipped. 100k arcane damage that often is really low. Now, again, if this has a chance to proc multiple times or to proc a lot on enemies, or if it's not like direct damage, if I can like cast AoE and then it can apply to a bunch of enemies like at once, that could be kind of cool. But so far, it's not that cool. Shadow Guard's Twisted Harvester. Taking damage has a chance to siphon chaos energies from the Twisted Nether, granting you a bit of leech for 10 seconds. Dropping below this health, even though this is an all-around trinket, it feels like this, well, I guess it's a defensive sort of thing. Dropping below this health will unleash the harvester, immediately granting you even more leech. It can occur every 2 minutes. So for leech happy folks, this is kind of cool. So like great for demon hunters, or demon hunter tanks, I suppose. But for I guess it's good for any DPS. You get that extra defensiveness, a little bit of extra healing or so. And you get a little bit out of it, but not so much. Moving on to the automatic foot bomb dispenser. This is familiar. This is a curio from the previous season. Your harmful attacks have a chance to drop foot bombs. You still need to run onto them, and if it does, then it does some decent AoE to enemies in a 6-yard radius. So cool for AoE packs, good for delves, good for dungeons, maybe, probably. Really depends on how often the proc is going to be. If it's as often as it was for delves, then that could be like pretty good, but I have a feeling it's not going to be. Of course, though, you need to move. So for someone who is a heavy caster, this is like fatal. Depending on where the foot bombs drop, this might be like very odd. If you're a tank, it's like, okay, do I really want to risk repositioning mobs just so I can get that foot bomb? Of course I do. And so that's going to cause like a little bit of chaos, which might be cool. All right, so the leech one might be good for the mage tower if you're still looking to get that done. Still, yeah, so these might be one thing to possibly check for at some point would be like, okay, can we cheese these in the mage tower like we can with the Darkening Bear stuff? Because that's been something that people have taken advantage of a lot. This might be cool too, depending on the fights. But I think of like the tank one, and a lot of the time it's not exactly throughput or self-healing that's the problem. You just get blasted off the platform or something like that. All right, moving on. We're almost done. The Incorporeal Essence Gorger, another everyone trinket. It's an on-use with a 2-minute cooldown. Rip magical essence out of your target and consume it, dealing arcane damage while granting you. Also, oh no, okay. It does damage to your target. I thought it did damage to yourself, and it grants you a lot of your lowest secondary stat for 20 seconds. If the target is an ethereal, your highest secondary stat is increased instead. So that's kind of interesting. At first I was like, okay, this thing kind of sucks because the lowest secondary stat, but now it'll increase your highest secondary stat, which is great until unless you run into, unless you go way over on your diminishing returns, which would be like, meh. But I guess conditionally, this can be a really good trinket because it has main stat. It does a little bit of damage, which is like, ooh, whoop-de-doo. But it does give like a decent amount of secondary stat. It just depends on whether, you know, if what you're fighting happens to be an ethereal. So it's not going to be great in every delve, although delves are going to be themed and they're going to be ethereals there. But you got to think about using this trinket. Now, of course, if you're fighting, if you're using this in raids, it's a give and take. I'm not familiar with all the raid bosses who are in the upcoming raid. I don't know if all of them are ethereals or if some of them are like, you know, demons, beasts, whatever. So you have to be aware of that. So yeah, it's all right. Manufacturing Odium. This is a strength and agility trinket. Your harmful abilities may cause your mind to tear piece by piece. At the 10th tear, you succumb to arcane insanity, providing you a hell of a lot of haste while periodically recovering your sanity over time. Slaying an enemy or witnessing an ally's death instantly tears at your sanity. So I guess that means it procs, but otherwise you can get like quite a bit of haste. So it says that it recovers your sanity over time. I wonder to myself, like, you know, if we use this or if we have this, I guess when it goes off, there's going to be some sort of cooldown before it'll start to, before it fires off again, or it'll just reset down to 0 and then you get your sanity back. Yeah, I'm not too sure about this. This one will need like some good field testing, which I haven't done on this one, but it's a lot of haste. This could be like, this is potentially very cool, especially if it procs off of slaying enemies and stuff. So this could be very good for like dungeons, delves, and whatnot. Maybe not so much for raids. So Droid over there is saying that the second to the last boss is an ethereal in the raid. Okay, so it might be something to like consider switching to, or at least hold on to. Like if you happen to get a hero version of this thing, and you happen to have like the spare Valor Stones and Crest or whatever, maybe it's worth holding on to and then switch it for that boss, so that way you can get like the most out of it. Who knows? And then finally we have the Twisted Mana Sprite, which is a verse trinket. Your healing spell and abilities have a very high chance to summon a Twisted Mana Sprite to assist you in combat for 10 seconds. It'll periodically heal a random nearby ally. Overhealing is converted into an absorb shield for 5 seconds. So this is almost my kind of trinket, because as a prop paladin, I like being able to like do off heals and stuff like that. But it has a verse. Ugh. It'll give me a good bit of like initial verse because I have like almost 0 on my main right now. But something like that, will, you know, it'll be kind of cool. The healing that I'm seeing from these trinkets so far in this round is really low though. So like this gives you you know, like, ooh, it heals for 100k. That's nothing. Even the overhealing, if it's converted into an absorb shield, that's really low compared to like what else is possible. So like here's like some of the healing trinkets. That's like one of the tanking things. There's like a couple of other tanking things, and then the rest of these are mostly mostly procs, mostly damage, and main stat gimmies. Now, of course, this is very early. We're more than likely going to see like some big tuning happening with these delve trinkets, but also keep in mind, again, we'll have to see what happens with the fact that we can purchase these off a vendor. So people will be able to be like, oh, which is the best in the slot? Cool, I'm going to go for this one. And it also depends on the gear track that those are going to fall onto. So yeah, that's all I got. Damn, that's a long recording for me. Just, well, I guess that's what I get for like doing it kind of live. So the Nemesis is an ethereal as well. Ah, good point. Hey, what's up, Simon? All right, cool. Thanks for the help. But then if anyone has other questions or wants to take a look at the other trinkets, then, you know, I'm happy to answer questions and all that stuff. Can someone update me on the Dell situation? Do we get all brand new stories, or is it added to the ones already there? They're added to the ones that are already there, as far as I know. I haven't looked at every story, although we can look and mouse over and see what's available. And actually, I do want to take a look at something. I want to look at overcharged delves. because like I see them, but I don't see them. And I want to see if overcharged delves are even a thing anymore. Or is it just like, okay, we keep the belt and like that's it. So far I'm not seeing anything overcharged at all. Let me double check. Okay, so that is Bountiful. I'm just trying to look for the Bountiful stuff. Okay, is this one Bountiful maybe? Can't tell. Oh wait, that's Site 9. And then that's 3. And that's 4. So none of these are Bountiful. Oh, I'm sorry, none of these are overcharged. So I have a feeling that overcharged delves are like just gone. As in, like, you know, the progression that we go through to max out that thing, max out that talent thing, it's going to just deactivate, I guess. But that's as far as we know so far. That stuff might change. So the script will be adjusted a little bit to reflect that. The belt's going to stay. And you can easily power it up. That's all good. And then here is the new... Oh, that looks like the spaceship. That looks kind of cool, actually. Yeah. I think I want to take back my previous commentary. I'm like, oh, man. Because I don't like that we get the same... That we have the same overall model. But, like, the attachments are, like, different. And I think these are kind of cool. And then where's, like, the really good one? I think that's the really good one. And then here's, like, the basic one. Yeah. So I guess this one is just the very cool one. Actually, let me look and see. Can I edit it here, or at least do a preview of like what the delve mount looks like here? So no, no, you cannot. Too bad, so sad. Pretty sure he saw one on this morning on PTR. I saw one too, but here's what was going on, Luigi. Like, what was going on was, it was Site 9. I'm sorry, it was this one. It was Side Street. That was Bountiful. It had the crackly things, and when you went up to it, like it said, "Hey, it's overcharged." But when you went inside, nothing. You know, it was an ethereal storyline that was going on inside. So I wasn't 100% sure. Like, oh, is it because it's an ethereal storyline? Did that overwrite the delve or something like that? But the fact that I don't see any that are overcharged right now, that tells me that they just won't follow overcharge stuff. At least in this current build. They might add it in later on, but that's the impression that I have so far. You know, as is kind of feedback. Yeah. But the thing is, like, things have been adjusted. So let me show you the delve person. Or the delve quest thing. It's just this. It's just this console now. So if you have the belt here, let me get rid of this quest. So if you have the belt, you just have this thing talk to you, and the quest objective is to complete any delve. Just do a delve, you're good. Woohoo. And then you get a thing to upgrade your belt. If you don't have a belt, then you get a quest, a different kind of quest that says complete any delve and you get a belt. So it has nothing to do with the console. Now, the one thing that I'm not sure of, that I think kind of solves itself is, notice here, like everything's unlocked, right? I didn't do this. I never unlocked the energy shield because on my live account, I have everything unlocked except for the energy shield because I never did any progression towards, come on, soul, say it. Never did any progression towards unlocking like the full talent tree. So this shouldn't be available, but it is. Dun dun dun. Why is that? Now I can't test this because, well, everything's just unlocked. I unlocked everything else, so I don't have a clean account to test this against. So the question I have is, for brand new accounts that never got this belt, What do they see on the PTR? So my guess is one of two things. One, you get everything right away. It's just there, right? Which is like, okay, woo. The other guess is I'll get this power and this power and this power unlocked right away. And then to get the other 6 powers, then I just need to go into whatever delve and do the same motions that we do right now on Live Realms. And that's fine too. That's it. Yeah, that's like that's the extent of my speculation. That sounds good. And I think that's kind of it. Because I think it'd be kind of weird if overcharged delves, if they did follow through. I mean, if they do it, then hey, they do it. But if they were to do it, the consequence of overcharged delves would be, okay, those 2 delves that happen to be overcharged, I'm definitely going to do those each day because that's the easiest way to play. Because you have these traps and you have these power-ups and all that stuff, and then delves are just easier in those versions. And I'm going to want to avoid doing the others because that's just inefficient. That doesn't feel right. So I buy into the idea more that they're just not going to do it after this. And so, at least for now, I'm going to encourage a sense of urgency for players who are like, maybe I'll get that mount someday. You know, the mount that you get for filling out the whole tree, I think. That you probably want to do that sooner than later. That's just, that's a guess. That's just a guess. I can test it on my wife's account when I get home. She doesn't do anything not pet or transmog related. Right on, dude. You get them. I think you do. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there is a overcharged this thing here. Titan console overcharge. Purchase enough Titan discs to unlock all the skills in the overcharged Titan console. So notice it's a feat of strength as well. And you get a robot. You know. Now, as a quick tip for folks, just do level 1 delves, like Gawain says. Just do level 1 delves. Do the fastest one you can, but you still want to kill everything. Well, okay, you don't have to kill everything, but just clear them fast, and you'll get like 50-ish or so of those Titan shards. You need to get a total of 1,700, which sounds like a lot, but you can you can be done quick if you put some effort into it. I know me though. I'm like, nah. I'll get to it, man. I'll get to it. And then last week I'll pick, oh shit. Oh, that reminds me. I need to inform the guild that I am available for keys. Okay. So, the wrong channel. Okay. All right. At long last, I'm available for keys tonight. Tonight, at the usual, tonight at 10. Yay. Click the T-Swift emotes to sign up. I need a new T-Swift emote. We only have like the one. We have one T-Swift emote. We need more. Yeah. I should talk to... Well, I don't know how to add emotes to a channel, but whatever. What is the combat text add-on that he's using? I'm right here. I use the add-on is called Nameplate Scrolling Combat Text. Nice and easy. And Tylenol. Clever. Thank you very much for the Prime. Appreciate it. Much, much, much appreciated. Oh, yeah. So good. So good. Hope you're doing well, dude. All right. So, yeah, we'll see if we have if I can get a group going. I meant to say it last night. I should have said something last night to kind of plant the seed in people's heads. So, yeah, we'll see if I can get homies to show up. Okay, so I think that's mostly it for like the Delve stuff that I wanted to cover. Like some of these things are interesting. We'll see how the builds go, but one of the one of the odd things, there are two odd things that I find odd. Like they're doing this whole competition thing between Horde and Alliance as to like who's going to complete more Delves. Whoever I guess completes the most, they have their flag hanging for a while, I guess. So that's kind of a nice little added thing. And then there's this thing. They were talking a little bit about, hey, you're able to leave messages for players and stuff like that. It's kind of like Dark Souls, and so people were referring to that. This is a very light version of it. This is something that's like, I'm not gonna. It's rude of me to be like, oh yeah, one of the interns put this in, but this seems like a very basic thing where, like I'll mouse over a couple of these. Hope wanes, let the end game begin. Great news, everyone. Yada yada yada. Just like meme kinds of phrases that we've been hearing over the years, and there's 10 of them. Yeah, there's 10 of them available. You drop these in a delve, and I guess what happens is other people who, I don't know if it's people in your guild or server or friend list or whatever, they'll see these, and then you can click on those, and then it'll play the soundbite. So in the case of like the Illidan one, you can have it like right before you turn some corner, and then it's like, you are not prepared. It's like, okay. Sure. So you can leave those kinds of messages, which is like very light. I'm sure people would love to put up an actual sign like plop, and then be like, yeah, and then just yell like racist shit. Something like that. But in this case, it's a very, very beginner stuff. Can California and Texas take their heat back? No, I'm good. I think I got plenty of heat. I mean, it's what, like low 80s today? Let me see. Well, today the highs are going to be 86. That's plenty. I'm a big bitch when it comes to heat, by the way. Yeah. No, you can have it. Just enjoy it for a while. Yay, Chris Forster works again. Yay! I definitely think they should have done the sign option with a set of choice words. I think so too, but this seems like a cheap way of doing it, or it seems like a low-tech way that they just whipped it together. Now, I think they could do with something more sophisticated, but I'm also thinking to myself, well, delves aren't like the most challenging thing. If delves were like this big, like sweaty, oh my god, watch. Like, have you seen those kinds of videos or the kind of footage where you see like ghosts of a player who are like trying to progress down a thing, and then you see them die in all sorts of different ways until you finally see one make it to the end? Delves are not this. Delves are easier. It's easier stuff. This is just for fun. I don't think it's made to be like useful in the same sense, but oh well. By the way, thank you to Nanya. Thank you very much for the Prime. We'll keep it for thanks, Boomer. I agree, it's not Dark Souls, but that's what people were. Yeah, I'm sure people were expecting that, but of course, this isn't dark. This is not. It doesn't prompt something like that. So I think this is more like for fun. I mean, it's definitely picking up what the whimsy. Memories are us. What do they say? Did you know that with a beefy enough hydraulic press and a little help from our patent-pending stabilization process, you can compress all this world soul nonsense into a nice, compact, and most importantly, marketable crystal that's got a fragment of something important in it? Mostly just quotes from bigwigs, it turns out, but who doesn't want to have the Lich King on something that could reasonably be considered adjacent to speed dial? They also only work in Dells for some reason, which is why we set up shop here. Right, so they're not trying to take it too seriously. We shouldn't try and take it too seriously. Some people are going to take it too seriously. Why didn't they make it better, you know? And for those who don't know, this is the lean emote for Pandaren. This is how they lean. When they lean, they lean. So here's like my lean. I am not leaning. Why am I not leaning? Lean. Lean. Okay, I'm not leaning. Oh, did they? Is it gone? No. Why? Wait. Lean. Okay, so it's gone. But this is the lean animation for Pandaren. So yes, you will get that Pandaren animation. I wonder why I don't have it right now. Maybe they pulled it and they're going to like work on it or something. Oh well, that's a bummer. But this is easily like the winner. I haven't seen all of them though. But this is clearly like, oh, he's doing like the tummy rub. Oh yeah, this dude is chill. I gotta have sunglasses. I gotta have like the Hawaiian shirt on. I gotta have an umbrella. Yeah, that'd be sick. Okay, anyway. Helping the Worgen rolls. Maybe we can try that. I'm on the PTR. We'll see if it's like busted or not. So let me get onto a character I can race change real quick. Faction. I think this should work. So change this dude into a. There we go. Oh, he looks cool. Okay. He's gonna roll into a lean? Okay, I don't know about that. Okay, so where is my Worgen button? Oh, here's my Worgen button. Ah! Okay, Worgen. And lean. Lean. Okay, the emote does work, but he's not leaning. So I have to be like human to do it? That would suck if there's no Worgen lean? No way. Okay, so let me there we go. Okay. Okay, so that lean works. It's goofy because he's in full armor and everything. But really, there's no actual puppy lean? No way. Boop. Okay, there we go. There's the lean. Oh no, I didn't work before. It's goofy. You know, he's wearing too much stuff. Let's try to casual him up, all right? Like, relax. You don't need to be wearing all this stuff. Just, yeah. Ah, that's chill, dude. But no one leans like a Pandaren. How does it work? Oh, it just works. I can be standing in nothing. You know, so you can easily set up shots of yourself like leaning against like whatever structure you feel like, or you can do like a fake structure as if you're leaning against the remnants of Teldrassil. Boop, look at that. Fits perfect. Oh no, I'm referring now. I'm a puppy. If Worgen could be paladin, I would think about it. Because puppies are awesome. But I would like to have, like, instead of like the Worgen look, the fierce look, I want to have like a poodle poof. Give me that look instead. I will rock that. Yeah. Someone's gonna land up the Worgen face with that moon. I mean, I could always like. Okay, the shape of it doesn't quite fit, but this does. This is like, oh yeah, fits. Edition Blizz now, so I don't just save the channel points anymore. Keep saving. I'll just keep pushing the goalpost back anyway. All right. What other races should I look at? Trying to think. Because we've seen other lean emotes from other races over the years, ever since they started putting that in. The Pandaren one I've never seen before though, so I don't know if that one is like new. There you go. So between the paladin races, which one can I look at still? I could look at Zandalari trolls. Let's see what they look like. Just need 197. I know, I'm talking like I'm scared. Let's see, can I just say Zandalari troll? Alright, cool. I have other characters who are Zandalari. Sweet. So is that how it works in 14? You have to stand next to a structure? That kind of sucks. I mean, it's cool, but kind of unnecessary too. And lean. Not lean. Like he's not doing it. But there we go. It's like I need a load time for leaning back. Okay, he's trying to look so cool. You don't have to look that cool while doing it, dude. Oh, I should look at a torrent. Okay. Yeah, let's look at torrent real quick. Here, perfect. Torrent. Full points you'd be still. Wait, could not change race? What? No, why? Since when? Change. You son of a bitch. Okay, so I guess I have to do it for a different person. So you. That's right. I guess I think that was the same character. All right, get Cal. All right. Oh god, I already feel so massive. Sheesh. All right. Okay, he also leans back, kind of casual, chill. It's crazy just how different the Pandaren one is. Here, let me take this off too. Oh, so he does a moment to like straighten up a little bit before getting back to it. Yep. That's a cool idle animation. Although it's like the clipping is insane. Definitely not the kind of thing that you want to have on while wearing like full armor. Then you just look goofy as hell. It's like... That's not terrible. It's just huge. I like how the wings tuck in like that too, as if they're trying to be a bit more subtle. No, this wingspan is insane. You'd think with the shoulder size on Torn that they really could fly. Some of the wings and saying the cow jumped over the moon. I think we've seen Quilterians, but let me switch one to like let's see. This guy. Actually, no, I just changed that one. Can't do that one. Can't do that one. Can't do that one. Too many damn paladins, Soul. God damn it. Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. This one will work. Oh, I should have changed the... Oh, actually, let me see how females lean, too. Yeah, let me go to the barbershop, too. Switch to female and see how that looks. Hey, order advancement. Woohoo. Check that out. Oh, there's a lot of people just chilling here anyway. Like, this one's just the best. Like, whoever thought the Pentarn was like, okay, I got the perfect one. There's just no beating this one. First time chatter. What's up, Darkanaut? Deleted a ton of alts last week. Decided I didn't need multiples of classes, so I went on a delete spree. Oh man, I don't know if I could ever do that. Like, I don't make too many alts anyway, so I don't know how I could stand like deleting my time. Know what I mean? That's me though. Like, I would not make a decision like that lightly. Okay, where's the barber around here? Hey, guard. Guard. Help. I need a barber. Barber. Oh, that's not far. All right, let's see if the ladies lean back like these Slavs do. Moment of truth, dude. Moment of truth. No, ooh, that's, hold on. This is sassy. There we go. That's kind of hot. Hold up. Let's get sexier. Sexier. Oh wait, I got a buff. There we go. Like, hey. You want to ask me? You want to invite me inside for some tea? 300 or max level anymore, so it wasn't so. Oh, okay. You have an alliance bane in the chat and you. Well, because stream delay, right? Stream delay. Since I'm in the loop, what would be your expected release date for 11.2? I'd be happy to answer that. Let me rely on my handy dandy predictor thing. And I'll talk about this briefly in the weekly, but it's like, it's screaming at me like when the next patch and all that stuff is. Like it seems really obvious. But yeah, let me show you. Okay, yeah. Okay, I don't know why they're okay. I need to do something about this. Hold on. Can I just take this out? Wait, I just want to delete it. Hold on. There we go. Y'all need to know what my mom's flight itinerary is. Okay, so the predicted thing is August 12th for the patch. The week after is what a lot of us had predicted too. Gamescom was going to happen. The day is going to happen the week season 3 starts. So this will be one of those instances where we'll actually get an opportunity to, at the very least, some of us will be able to like play through and complete the raid, and then see what is happening next in the expansion. Now, I mean, we're not gonna finish the entire War Within story. There's gonna be, I'm sure there's gonna be still more story to tell. But yeah, this is what we're looking at. We're looking at mid-August, early-ish mid-August for the patch. The season starts 1 week later, along with Midnight being announced. My question though is, because Blizzard's been working pretty much in we've been able to predict everything, and we've been right, predicting like the week of pretty much every patch that's come out. My question is, do they have the confidence? Do they have the balls or the stones or whatever rounded equivalent? Is Midnight so close that they can announce a date right then and there? What do you think? Do you think they will go as far as announce a date right away? I think they can. And it feels like, I don't know, it feels like we're at such... So we're getting this announcement right at the start of the so-called last season of War Within. There is a fairly high chance that we won't get a season 4, but there's a reasonable chance that a season 4 might just get shoved in there anyway and be what is basically 11.2.7. Like they could certainly, because we want to keep in mind the one thing that has not changed so far is the pre-patch period. We have 1 month or so where we have like a couple weeks of awkwardness, and we deal with like class changes and the previews, and people will have an opportunity to like knock out getting their heroic mounts, AOTC mounts from the last season, and so on and so forth. If we factor in 11.2.7 and the pre-patch, that's 3 months. 3 months. Can we have a 3-month season? I think so. I say, why not? 11.2.7, either the week of or shortly after season 4 begins, right? And then we just go through the motions. Maybe there'll be like a short rotation. I don't think there should be a rotation, but maybe we can go through a short rotation and nothing changes, except for people being like, oh my god, I have to show up for like season 4. And people aren't a fan of that. But a lot more, but I wonder what the numbers are. What does the majority of players think? And I can't speak to that at all. I have no idea. Blizzard knows. I have a feeling that it would be in their interest to have a season 4. Might as well. Like, it wouldn't hurt. Like if a season 4 makes people be like, oh, I'm so turned off from this, I'm not even going to play until the next expansion or whatever. That's one thing. That's one set of behavior, and that's fine. But if there is no season 4, then people are definitely going to be like, oh, okay, cool, there's nothing to do. I can just come back later anyway. So it feels like, it feels like Blizzard loses less if they just go through with it and put one in. So, anyway. I'm stuck on the idea anyway. I super convinced myself I'm right, and I'm not going to change. And if I'm wrong, then if I'm wrong and they say there's going to be no season 4, I'm still going to stay in character, and I'm going to tell them they're wrong to do it. Just for fun. I'll be the bad guy. I don't mind. I actually think they released 11.2 the 19th before Gamescom, and that way the raid comes out the week after when they get back from the convention. I don't know if they did they talk about Heroic Week? I'm not sure. Because it's not like all of them are going. You're gonna have like leads, you're gonna have suits. Ian is like considered a VP these days. Or he is a VP, I think. So folks like them are going to like show up and be there. But as for like the day-to-day, like, oh my god, servers are on fire and whatnot, I mean, you're still going to have, for the most part, like the engineers are there and all that stuff to keep things in line. The more important thing, I imagine, is to get the patch out first, and have that feel stable. But if anything, they just feel that it seems like they seem confident about it. Depends entirely on the dungeon pool and whether they have cool experiments mechanically. We keep telling them to use season 4 as an experimental platform, and then they give us generic stuff. I mentioned this yesterday. One of the experiments that I think that would be cool, like, for them to go back and give us like all the old raids from the expansion, that feels like it makes too much sense to not. Yeah, that makes too much sense. They shouldn't not do it. It's way too good of an idea. But I think that one of the experiments they should do, I mentioned this yesterday, is they should just not have the rotation, at the very least. What's the worst that can happen? Oh my god, people feel overwhelmed, blah, blah, blah. Cool, feedback. And they can learn from it, and they will not do that again. But so far they haven't done it. They went through with the rotation, and I've seen negative feedback, I've seen positive feedback. I say just try it out, fucking see what happens. Or, just kind of like if this comes out along with the remix, people are going to be like, ooh, do I want to do the try-hard stuff and do the season stuff, or do I want to fuck around in the remix? I'm going to fuck around in the remix because that feels fun. So maybe the idea should be, well, maybe the season 4 should be a fuck around kind of thing too. Let's just do lots of gimmies and just make it fun. I mentioned this once where I said, maybe the season 4 of an expansion should just be like a normal thing, and it'll be the kind of season that invites people to be like, because how there's a lot of people who are like, the game's not any good until the final season when everything is like free and unlocked and blah 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 blah. We haven't really had that in the past 2 expansions because we haven't had like real problems that needed to be solved like that, such as the unlocking the legendary weapons for Legion, or corruptions, or God, was it for Shadowlands, or swapping covenants and that sort of thing. There weren't problems that needed to be solved throughout the whole expansion. Oh, it's not fun. That's a different story. So I'm thinking like, fuck it, just like let season 4s of WoW expansions be like, hey, just here's all the shit. Have fun, just dick around for a few short months. I think I remember seeing that presentation from John Haidt that fewer and fewer people stick around by the end of an expansion, right? That would be something that might bring people in and be like, oh, okay, this is cool. Maybe, I don't know. I think they're further ahead than we think. Could be. But I think they still want to stick to like a certain schedule. I'd rather have them, I'd rather have them stick to their schedule rather than rush things out or to delay things. You know, if they have a plan and they're sticking to the plan, then cool. You don't think they'll announce something like Spring 2026? They probably could, but I don't think they'll risk setting it yet. Month and a half to get possible Flavor of the Month alts to 670 at least. Going to put some work into the Evoker and the Druid, or play something else, or just farm Transmog with the bonus on July 1st. Next week. If they move it up to August 5th, they can get through the race and 11.25 announcement so they can spend the whole convention on midnight. I think they'll do that anyway, Mage Master. Historically, we have seen them reveal expansions before the final raid. It's happened a number of times. I think, if I recall, we were in the middle of Antaurus for Legion. Yeah, we were in the middle of Antaurus for Legion. And the raid wasn't going to come out. I'm sorry, we were in the middle of Argus for Legion. Antaurus wasn't going to come out until, I think, December. But then we learned about Battle for Azeroth in November. So that's, you know, it's a good bit of time. A good bit of lead time. So I think the timing of that isn't as big of a deal. Do you think we'll get a season 4? Oh, you missed all my ranting from earlier. I don't know, honestly. I think there can be a season. I think there's definitely a scenario where a season 4 can fit in the War Within. So yeah, I guess I do think that there will be one. But if there isn't one, I won't be surprised one bit. I'm just gonna tell them they're wrong. You got your suits. I hope it fits. I hope it fits. Well, once upon a time, this is like 30 years ago now. Once upon a time, I managed a tuxedo shop, so I spent, you know, a good bunch of time doing quick measurements and you know, working the sewing machine thingamajigger and all that stuff. Yeah, that was an experience. He just came on right on, dude. Bounced from WoW late in BFA, and Shadowlands did not bring me back. I played through Dragonflight towards the end, but just came back after a year away, and I'm having a lot of fun. Cool. That's cool. Have fun for as long as you feel like, and then when you feel like bouncing, yeah, get the hell out. And then come back when you feel like having fun again. Yeah, it's no big deal. There's this obsession that gamers have that, you know, the MMO needs to be something that keeps us locked in, but also doesn't keep us committed. You know, it's such a tug of war of wants between players, and yeah, it's all super confusing. All right, let me get out of here. I think I want to get some transmonkey stuff on live rounds. Unless there's something cool to check out that I need to learn, I'm gonna chill. Oh, so there's the suit. That is bright. That is way brighter than I thought. And you bought that too. Right on, dude. That is a bright purple, I gotta say. The pants are kind of long. Hey. No, they're not too long. Maybe that's the style these days. I don't know. All right. Have I collected the Defiler set from the World from Argus? That one, yes, I have. That one took a while. The World Defiler set, the Titan Bikini, as I called it. Played on, then took 3 months off and came back at the beginning of May to do some raiding and other stuff. Right on. The pants are being altered. Okay. Wait, but I thought you just got them. So you haven't had them altered yet. Okay. Otherwise, yeah, let me take a closer look at this. A 1 button. How classic. I don't know what the style is these days. Last I remember, 2 buttons were actually 2 or 3 buttons were the style, but mostly 2 buttons. Anyway. Collected 3 pieces of it using belts on my warrior orc. So let me... Yeah, I think it's called World Defiler. If I recall correctly. So... Yeah, this guy. So yeah, that... I'm pretty sure I got all of it. Oh, I got the chain thing on. Can I take that off? No, I can't take it off. All right, let's start there. All right. Because I thought there was like a... There it is. World Defiler's Plate. Oh, yeah. There it is, baby. I would love to see new colors of this thing, though. I don't know if I would buy it from the trading post or anything, but it is kind of cool. Anyway, what sort of PvP things do I need for... Actually, I think I've done all the quests that I can do. Okay, so there's 50 from that. 50 from this one here. I haven't done time walking yet. On one dev in the interview said the campaign for Midnight is already done, so they think they are pretty far ahead. All right, on. Maybe an fix that gives you both option and all choice modes. Okay, I don't know about that. I don't know about breaking talents. Because that definitely would have a borrowed power kind of feel. I don't think people would be happy at the tail end of that, you know? Now, if they added like trinkets or something that gave us additional talents or a set bonus, well, okay, maybe not a set bonus. But if you had trinkets that gave that sort of effect, that could be kind of cool, but I doubt that too, because for the most part, the season 4s have been about like recycling stuff, you know? So, oh well, kind of a bummer. It would be kind of cool if they gave us something like, no, I don't think that'd be a good idea either. Yeah, I don't have any good ideas. The new Fel Reaver inspired sets that got data mined for the trading post look cool and probably go with the Defilers. Oh yeah, I only saw a red version. I didn't see a green version. I'm guessing Dragonflight, you did the achievement for No Deaths and Dawn of the Infants for the Infinite Transmog set. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. I have memories of attempting it. Did I get it though? I think I did. So I don't know what it's called though. Infinite? Nope. The put it back achievement. Okay, that's a good way to check for it. Put it back. Put it back. Yes, I did get it. Yay! Good job, Saul. Infinite Acolytes Regale. I forgot what that looked like. Oops. Infinite Acolyte Regalia. So... I don't know which one. Oh, I think it was this one, right? Because I think it was that color. So, oh, that looks like a cool color, and that's why I went for it. Yeah. You got your chariot yesterday. The console makes doing delves as DPS so much easier. I should work on that, but then since I'm here, I guess the one thing that I do want to work on is the flame stuff. Yeah. So let's do that. Oops. Okay, now I'm seeing this thing right there. Okay. Cool. Alright, so I am on a mission. I am on a mission because there's a shield that I can get from the Midsummer stuff that I totally missed out on it previously. I mean, I have plenty of time to do it, but I might as well do it. Does the console effects work in any delve or just it only works in overcharged delves? Just in overcharged delves. That's what I was saying earlier. The fact that that it doesn't appear that overcharged delves are going to follow through into the next season, it would make delves feel a bit too easy, or it would feel restricted. It'd be like, okay, you know, at the moment, people feel restricted to doing bountiful delves. Because if it's not bountiful, then you don't get anything great from it. Now, in this case, it's like, okay, if you want to succeed at higher level delves, then you pretty much feel compelled to do them when they're overcharged. Do the 2 overcharged per day. Otherwise, it's going to be like too tough because the overcharged effects they're like really strong. So that's just me though. So far, I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it follow through into the next season, but I could be wrong. They might do it. And thank you to Mushroom. Thank you for the Prime. Appreciate it. At the moment, I'm mostly going for flames. So I'm done here. So now I got all these other places. So desecrate this fire. No, I'm not down for. Oh, I got one more. One more. And then I'll just waypoint the others once I get to it. Oh yeah, that's right. I have the oversized, I'll leave that in for now. Sure, perfect. Nothing like a huge, intrusive, pixel-looking thing to guide my way. Yes. So I did have pizza yesterday. I went ahead and got myself a barbecue chicken pizza. And it was very good. And now I feel so disgusting, but so good. I'm reading chat a little bit slow on the YouTube side too, Monkey. But yeah, the stream delay is freaking insane. Maybe I should look at that. Hold on. I know there is a way to like make it a bit more responsive, but I don't think I can. I think I can only do so much. So, settings maybe. And it might fuck up the stream, so I'm not going to change anything yet. Alright, so where's a good spot to go to? Broken Isles. I can go all over the damn place. Can I go elsewhere too? Okay, I can go to Outland. Nothing happens in the Shadowlands though. Womp womp. Sorry. I mean, hell, no seasons happen here. Like weather? What the hell's weather? At least these planets have weather. Yeah, let's go to Draenor. I don't think I've seen a single YouTube comment pop up on the. Oh, does it not pop up there either? Oh, that is. It's not. Oh, come on. Come on, Stream Elements. They are totally falling off. That's weak. Yeah, sometimes this thing just does not want to cooperate. I'll have to work on it. What's the waypoint add-on called? Wait, what did I cave into? It's called Waypoint UI. So lots of little customizable things. But, yeah. Oh, pizza. Yes, I caved. D was like, do it. I'm like, all right. I can't say no. No. Reno. Oh yeah, I still have a Delver's Bounty thing to do. I will eventually get to that. Oh, this is Dalaran, you doofus. Damn, you... Okay, you know what? Okay, since I'm here, might as well. Alright. Too bad this doesn't, like, auto-sort. Actually, can I do that? I don't think it'll do that. Yeah, bummer. Can I right-click and tell it to reorder? Load set, toggle tracker, toggle editor. No, it's not going to do it. Okay. Yeah, well. You just find the coolest add-ons. I mean, I heard about it somewhere, and then one of my guildmates, he reminded me of the name of the thing. Now, this one, I obviously just made it stupid large. It doesn't have to be this big. But I wanted to see just like how useful could this be? Ultimately, though, like, there are things I'm not too pleased with about it. I still like Waypoint Enhanced or whatever it's called. I still like this one a lot better. Mostly because I can do the multiple waypoint thing. That's like, to me, that's kind of a game changer. It's kind of really awesome. What, you just gave it to me? Okay, sure. I didn't do anything, but thanks for the 5, I guess. I actually have been trying to look for a cool... Like, I haven't done the add-on feature in quite some time. I haven't found anything that I was like, ooh, I really want to talk about this one. So it's been a while. And maybe... But I do notice that a lot of the folks that come by for the add-ons, they're not usual... They're not, like, regular subscribers. So it might be worth it for me to do some repeats. You know, bring us some classics, but then I always do that. Like, I don't want to feel so repetitive that I keep mentioning like the same freaking add-ons all the time. And most of the ones I hear people mention are not like obscure or vague. Like, people will be like, oh, have you seen that this new update that makes your like the summary like way better? I'm like, yeah, I know, it's fun. Yeah, I've seen that one being developed, and like, it's cool and everything, but I'm like, oh, you know, a lot of people have that one, like, but maybe they don't. I don't know. But maybe I will bring up something like that anyway. So I've done 2 overcharged delves. What's the deal? Are they supposed to be harder than normal delves or what? Yes, at least at first. Once you power up that talent tree, they become easier than normal. Oh shit. They become easier than normal delves. So eventually the play is take your lesser geared alts and then just crush delves with the perks that you get from the tree. That's it. So it's just a nice little boost to help you get through them a little faster in these last couple weeks. And you get a mount. Hey, you get a mount and a Hearthstone toy. I actually care about the Hearthstone toy more than the mount. I'm like, okay, this is cool and everything, but this Hearthstone. That's like, I guess that's one of the other small things I like to collect, Hearthstone toys, because those are easy. They're not like super intrusive or, not a huge deal. Wait, did I get this one? Yeah. So that should go away. Okay. Going here now. How do you think Scale Commander or W Evoker will do in Mythic Plus for Season 3? Oh, that's tough. I mean, I'm not a big Devoker. I'm not a big Evoker player. I did see some of the changes. They seemed cool. I couldn't really say though. I'm not gonna have a qualified answer for you. I didn't know that they needed that much help. I thought they were performing pretty decent in most content, keys and what have you. Oh, we in a miss. I guess that's a monster in need of a gear boost. Yeah. And these days, like, the way that the game is trying to tell you, hey, come play, is making the gearing process, like, way, way easier. I get it when people are like, oh, man, crest farming, Valorstone farming, what a pain in the ass. I get it. I totally hear you on that. But still, overall, like, the gearing and all that it's just, being able to just play the game way faster than before. Or if anything, the conversation has shifted. Before it was like, oh man, I gotta get all my legendaries, I gotta power up my conduits, I got to farm up more artifact power and blah blah blah, and then I can play the game. Now it's, I gotta get gear before I can play the game. Wait, but then, people have been pushing the goalposts like way back, so now it's like, oh, okay, now so you don't feel like you're playing the game until you get gear. But that comes from kind of a Mythic Plus standpoint. Because it's like, once you get that gear, then you can start pushing for the competitive keys. So I get that. Especially if you have a number of alts and you want to manage a stable of alts to go through. Okay, now I'll go to, well, I'll just use each one of my damn wormholes. So I'll go to wherever this shit takes me. In general, MMO news, RuneScape is going to experiment with their MTX offerings and also create realms where you can't use cosmetics. I remember, the last thing I remember about RuneScape was them talking about introducing other, like, monetization tiers, and people were really upset over it. Does that have anything to do with it? Where's this pressure if you had to get full AP to start Mythic Plus? So I look at comments. Thank you. I look at comments and social media and all that stuff, and I look at what people are saying. It's not the majority of people, but you see these conversations going around. And you see like that sort of fatigue coming from these certain people. A lot of them are like high-end players, and that influence starts to trickle down to everyone else. That's not hard to identify with. It is self-pressure, but it's still real to them, you know? The last thing that we can try to do, or the last thing we should try to do, is try to tell them, no, it's not. It's all in your head, man. Yeah, people don't respond to that very well. Trust me, I've tried. I think there's responding to the backlash they put out of it an hour ago. Okay. Gear has always been a way to enable stepping stones. Gearing was never that hard to me, just raid, or at least that used to be the MO. I feel like it still is. It just kind of... I would gear exclusively through just raids, but I never did that either. Like, I'm trying to think, like, before Mythic Plus, I did a lot of crafting. So I would do everything I can to start powering up my crafting so I can make whatever the hell thing I could. And that was that. And that was kind of a... It was what I had to do, and but in hindsight, it kind of sucked, too. Because it's like, I'm going through all this just so I can get, like, one piece of gear. Because... Or two pieces, because that's all you could really get with crafting back then. The last time you got really extensive crafting before Dragonflight was Warlords, if I recall, where you can craft like a whole heroic set as long as you used all your, work order cooldowns and all that stuff to like try to make your stuff really fast. But like that was it. Oh, I hit a button again. Shit. I remember heroic dungeons were basically a requirement for raiding back in Wrath. Well, yeah, because you had to get your justice points or valor points or whatever they were, badges, whatever, and then you can buy the heroic gear. And that shit was slow because you're only able to get like so many a week. So you slammed like the fastest dungeons you could do, or later you would queue up for them, later in Wrath. Yeah. Never tried RuneScape though. To me, visually, just not appealing. Like, do I get to look cool and feel cool and all that? No, not really seeing it. Okay, so I'm done here. Now I'm going to Zambaleezy. Some people still haven't gotten over the daily heroic. For them, it's just like a routine to do, and in a way, it's still lucrative because you can get, especially if you happen to get the call to arms thing. I think that's what it's called. Then you get the bonus, but then that's a tank and healing thing. DPS, sorry, like you get that once every blue moon or whatever. Interesting to see how other MLs, especially ones that have been around a while, try to monetize to stay alive. Well, I wonder about something like EverQuest. I wonder what, or like the really old ones, EverQuest, Dark Age of Camelot. Like, what are they doing? Are they doing anything, or are they just like running it at like a loss for the sake of fans? I don't know. There's a certain point where the suits would be like, nah, just, let's get rid of it. It's not making money. Or Lord of the Rings. Yeah, like the really old ones. Something like WoW stands out because it's like, okay, it does appear to be still hugely profitable. But then what about like the ones that you don't really hear about anymore? Like, how are they getting by? Is it really that cheap to maintain relative to their subscriber numbers? Oh, by the way, thank you to, I think I missed someone too. No, I did not. Thank you to Neckbeard. Hey, thanks for the prime, dude. Using self-pressure as feedback for the game design, it just so fucked me. But where else do they come from, though? If it's not coming from how they feel, then where should it come from? If they're feeling self-pressure, you and I might be able to logic them out of it, or we might be able to come up with the cope to explain to them just what it is that they're actually feeling, but it doesn't take away their feeling. And if that's all they got to share, then they're going to share it. And that's too fucking bad. It's one thing to give feedback based on misinformation. But when it comes from like, hey, this is how I feel, that's hard to fight, man. Oh, I'm done here. So, where's my next wormhole? Next wormhole, wait, Argus. I don't think there's one in Argus, is there? That'd be hella funny. Broken Isles, Argus. That's what I thought. That'd be kind of funny, though. They were like, yeah, sure, we still do seasons. Yeah, why not? Where's my next wormhole? Is Pandaria. Let's go! Oh, how pleasant. I start off on one end of the continent. So I guess I'll do like a circle round, kind of. I'll do a loop. Yeah. I still haven't gone to Draenor. All these waypoints I still haven't used. Okay, here, let me just... Okay, these are not accurate, but good enough. All right. So for those of you who have been joining us a little bit recently, we're doing real content. We are hunting for a shield via collecting these burning blossoms. Boop. All right. So where am I at on this? I have 297. Damn, I need a lot of these things, man. But I still haven't gone to, like, the big places either. Like, I still got all that to go through. All that to go through. And then I'm going through there right now. Yeah, I guess I'll go to Northern and Outland first. So here, and our Pandaria, Northern, Outland, Draenor. Then we'll go to Eastern Kingdom's calendar. Perfect. I hope I see more dudes, more Pandaren, just like leaning back and doing their thing. Because that is a cool emote thing. Anyway, it's way past 10. Shit, was there any news? There is... No. Let's see. Mop Classic, July 21st. So that is in a month. And then Mogashan Vaults, 10 days later. Time gating. Oh my god. I gotta make a joke of that for the weekly. Like when they announced BlizzCon, not BlizzCon, the midnight announcement. It's like, hey, guess what, guys? They made the announcement for the announcements, aka delayed release. They're time gating the announcement. They could have done it sooner, but no. They'll continue to drip feed us content. Maybe I'll have Bob do it. It's been a while. People have been asking for him, and people have been like, oh my god, you gotta scrub whatever Bob is left from your channel. I love what you do. I hate that guy. I'm like, oh. So he has a gender now. Got it. You should mention that 11.2 is live on the PTR right now and have their time getting the retail live service. I know, God. What a tease. Sheesh. Part of me wishes you could do the challenge modes and have them work in retail, but they also should maybe spend 0.5 patch or something and put them back in retail like they did for the Mage Tower. Oh, mob challenge modes, you mean? And, yeah, mop and WAD challenge modes. It'd be cool, but it just feels like a one-time thing, you know? Nice to have, but then once it's done, it's done. Something, where's the content? I mean, having it would be cool. You know, don't get me wrong. You know, you're right. Still curious about what they want to do about the Mage Tower, if that's going to be a thing. I have a feeling, just a feeling, that the intent to bring in challenge for like the Legion remix. Now we're shifting gears. I feel like the focus is going to be on how far can you get in solo Mythic Plus. I don't know how that's going to land, because if they're still going to have it with like a timer and all that stuff, that's going to turn some people off even during the remix. But it's also going to get people to be like, ooh, like I'm going to be like, ooh, let's see how well I can do. How high can I go? Solo. A group would still do a lot better, because a group will have like, you know, that much more throughput going. But if I can do like a solo key or whatever, and then get enough currency or like get an achievement in or something like that, that'll let me get a reskin of an artifact weapon appearance. Ooh. Would that get me in? Or maybe they'll just be like, fuck the timer. You know, just see if you can do it. Or die. I don't know. I think they'll keep... I don't think they'll have... part of me is thinking, Lucaro, they're not going to do the tower at all. Because how would you do it? If we had powers like the Mop remix, I don't think a Mage Tower would work. Because the strat would be... My strat, like for example, like the Prop Paladin one, if the Mage Tower was... If I had all these Mop powers in the Mage Tower, I would just be running in circles, avoiding the knockbacks whenever that would happen, and that would just kite the whole time, and that dude would get erased. I'd totally smoke him, because if I couldn't, then it wouldn't feel like the remix anymore. it would feel like the Mage Tower. And I don't think that's what they're aiming for with something like this. The point is, like, to have this Dynasty Warriors experience where you're just mowing shit down and you're not being challenged in that sense. It's just a playground. He says, if it was anything like Mop Remix, I was soloing Hero Parades. I want to see how high of a key I can solo in Legion Remix Mythic Plus. It's a lot of words. Will must have Mythic Plus and Diablo Open World will be fine. I'll be kind of interested in how the Diablo thing is going to work. Like, I have a feeling it's gonna be like it's probably gonna be more like a speed bump than anything. Like, we'll still be able to like smash, but we'll be progressing towards that. It'll give us like this minimum sense of pacing, because I think like in the Mop remix, you reached escape velocity like really, really fast. And then you had like a bit of a bump in the road when you were progressing to soloing dungeons and then raids and then mythic raids and all that. But I guess like the path, or I guess the power game between, hey, I hit max level versus, hey, I can start soloing stuff, a lot of stuff. Like, there's like that in-between period where people are like, ooh, what do I do? How do I figure this out? What's the fastest thing I can do? And so what did people do? They found the most exploity thing they could find. They did frogs, they looked for hyperspawns, and so on and so forth, until they were able to start doing dungeons. So I think what they're doing with this whole world tier thing instead is to fill that gap and give us something. It's like, okay, never mind the hyperspawns, let's just up like this whole world tier stuff. Now that said, people are going to look for those hyperspawns anyway. And if they find them, cool, they find them, they're going to exploit them, whatever. And, you know, that'll be that. But I think that's the intent of what they're doing with the whole world tier thingamabobber. Sorry for dipping last night. We'll never forgive you. Oh, man, disappointing. That's all good. We'll plan for those achievements next week, is what I eventually said. So hopefully those solo challenging remix designs stay as experimental stuff. People wanting an MMO with raids and dungeons to be a solo experience, defeating the whole purpose. I disagree. These days, I think the whole idea of what an MMO is this fluid, diverse thing. It can be a solo experience. You're just existing in this shared space. Or it can be group content that you want to do. So I feel like the world, you know, to quote Hamilton, the world is wide enough for all these different things. And I don't think it's a good idea to try to say, no, we should take away these different, you know, we shouldn't remove gameplay. Just keep adding more shit. If it dilutes it, then just bitch at the dev team to, you know, for better quality. I think that's a totally fair take to have. But to say, nah, just take stuff away and push it somewhere else, nah, that's hella cringe. Northrend, let's go. Heatstroke. I can't imagine. I saw what you were saying earlier. That sucks, dude. I hope you're feeling better, because you've been feeling bad like all week, you were saying. Oh yeah, I gotta click on that thing. Let's start in Buoyant Tundra. I think they're also adding the leveling difficulty option because people have been complaining that the leveling's too easy, so they're trying to find a testing ground to make it harder. Well, I wonder though, like, are they going to even add that leveling? Well, are they going to add that world tier stuff at the start? Like what's the flow going to be? Is it going to be like, okay, it's going to feel normal at first, but then once you get to max level the first time, then you have the option for your other characters to toggle that mode at level 1? first, because let's pretend, right? Let's pretend that kind of like the artifact cloak, the cloak gives you like a nice stat boost or something like that early on that you otherwise don't have in your first playthrough. So I don't think having that initial difficulty early on would be a good idea. And also the way that they did the whole leveling, well, the whole threads thing, that was something different. That was a clever use of game mechanics that Blizzard was just fine with, but I have a feeling that they don't want to let that happen again. But leveling's already fast anyway, so I don't know. I don't think leveling being too easy is like that big of a deal. I just think I'm mostly focused on that first time experience when you're trying for the people who are just trying to like power themselves up. I feel like the world tier stuff is designed to mostly fill that gap of trying to give players, all players, an opportunity to find their way of powering up without having to like fight to get into like some group so they can farm hyperspawns. Because that's kind of what it was. Kinda. But the quality to me has gone down. Oh, or I think I get it. I don't agree. I think the quality is like exploded. My memory's not that great, but I remember the droughts of being like, oh, better figure out something to do. Been unlocked once you hit max level. Mainly talking about testing the leveling challenges in Legion Remix because people were complaining that the leveling is too easy under Retail. We'll see how it works and maybe implement for Retail later. I don't know if it feels like a kind of subjective thing to say, okay, leveling's too easy. I think there's more to it than just that. Like, for new players, I don't think leveling is in a good state for brand new players because it's such a broken story experience. But also, I wouldn't be fond of a solution of, and I've talked about this numerous times, I wouldn't be fond of WoW changing in such a way that you have to play through the entirety of their story. Every zone, every patch, every dungeon and raid in order to experience like the full breadth of the story before you reach max level. That's too daunting. That's way too much. And I didn't even talk about side quests. I just talked about dungeons and raids. Because that should be hella crazy. I do think that leveling in less than a day to max level is a bit fast too. So how do you pace a player like that? How do you give them a cool experience? I don't know. That's the $1 million question, or the multi-million-dollar question, in fact. Like, how do you do that? I don't think there's any. There might be a solution, but we're not going to come to a consensus on it. Like, people are going to have like all sorts of different ideas, and we should hear them, But this dude's just chilling on the wall. Oh well, I guess he's undead, so that's okay. Unflinchingly just honor the flame. Dude's like hiding down here like a punk. That's how I'll find it out. The belt is pretty awesome. Not as strong as it was like last week, but still pretty cool. Loving it for the 6 or 20 time is boring because that's just what it is. You're doing the same thing. And that's why that write-up that I was trying to do, like, there are ways we can kind of change things up for ourselves if we wanted to. And it's all by choice through add-ons and stuff. Or we just create for ourselves these challenges like, oh, let me do an Iron Man challenge where I level up naked. Or I level lock myself. Or I force myself to earn like a WoW token's worth of gold before I leave a zone or something like that. You know, there are all sorts of things we can create for ourselves, but nothing that Blizzard like provides. And you know, that's kind of okay because it creates for us that sandboxy feeling, but at the same time, like, it makes it feel like, oh, Blizzard isn't really caring, and we have to like figure it out for ourselves. But yeah, that's also the charm of it too. Be down for a lore walking level and make a project where they put expansion patch summary quests and just keep adding them as we continue the saga. That'd be kind of cool. You know, if someone could effectively just level through those experiences, but also it creates this very, it's more than just on rails. Like, you're just being like transported over to like a spot, and then there you go, you do this spot, and then you're transported, and then you're pulled back, and that feels, it's not just on rails, it's like next level rails or something like that. Because I still can't level another character currently in Northern because I'd done it 7 times in Wrath alone, and that's what the lore walking stuff kind of solves, because it makes it so that you don't go through the motions of leveling those zones, but also you can at least choose different zones to level, you know, depending on when you start, because of the whole scaling thing. Like, you don't necessarily have to start in Boring Tundra and like go through the process. Like, I think you can start in whichever zone. You just start whatever the quest line is. Maybe Northrend isn't the best example, but other ones are, where you can just go to like different zones. That game a few years ago, Arthur or whatever, had an epic siege battle. Oh, Lost Ark. I remember Lost Ark. That was cool. And then it was over. And then it was boring. Mind you. Well, but yeah, that was... Yeah, I remember playing through that. That was a very cool experience. And then it was over. So while it was very cool, it didn't really like hook me in. You know? Once I got to like the really repetitive stuff, I was like, ooh, this is grindy. Yeah, I'm good. You know, a cool questing experience like the Wrathgate, which was amazing, is memorable. It sticks to you. Makes you want to go back to that. But it's also, you know, it's over. I'd love for Blizzard to add some kind of option of creating custom rules for leveling that would let you invite people into a modified gaming experience that we can track in some way. I mentioned this as an idea the other week, and most of you were like, I don't know, man. But I'm going to talk about it again. What if they did something where we can, you know, we make a new character, and then we can set up like all these different conditions. We can opt out of it, you know, and jump out of that mode, but at the start, that's when you have to like set it all up, where maybe you're leveling, maybe your XP gains are cut in half. Maybe mobs hit harder or have more HP. Maybe your flight speed is stuck, or you can't dragon ride. You can only like do steady flight, or you can't do any flight at all, something like that. Like all these little variables you can set for yourself. You can do a solo self-found, you can't do interactions and all that stuff. But this kind of leveling experience, for the most part, is something that is solo, or maybe you can invite your party over, and they would, you know, do like party sync, and then they would be subject to all those conditions too. Maybe something like that can work out. I thought that would be kind of a cool way of changing up leveling and making the experience feel different, like the way a person wants it to be, or not, because you don't have to do any of that stuff. It's just there, you know, those sorts of conditions are there like as an option, and you don't get anything out of it. It's just for your enrichment, for your pleasure, and maybe you don't want to do it, so. What else were you saying? Kind of like how some older FPSs would let you do multiplayer with heavily modified in-game. Yeah, like separate servers or something like that. I'd be down for that. Imagine if there was one where, imagine if there was a condition where when you pick up a quest, it does like the slow scrolling and you can't close it out. So it's slowly not it'd be even better if it actually read it to you and did dialogue and all that stuff, but let's just say it didn't. And it just kind of forced you to just like, oh my god, I gotta read all this shit. But you did it. That'd be hella fun. How long would someone last doing that? And then those options, they'd be there. They'd be there at the start. You would turn them on. But from the login screen, you can turn them off after you create the character. But once you turn it off, you can't turn them back on again. I don't know why I want to have a rule like that, because I'm also saying, oh, you shouldn't get anything for it in the end. Maybe you should. Maybe there should be some sort of feat of strength or something like that, just to say you did it. And a feat of strength for like stacking more and more of these things. Yeah, I don't know. Forced immersive RP, didn't Blizzard kill some add-on that added voice acting to a bunch of quests? Yes. And I think there are or were some AI related add-ons. I don't know if they tried killing those too, where they tried to have like an AI voice thing read the quest for people. The only thing that they've allowed, if I recall, is one that uses it's still like a voice generated thing, but it's more like just a reader. It's not trying to emulate an actor. It's just like the Microsoft, like the robot voice and all that, or like those screen readers, the really low tech ones. And it's also because of trademark. They want Jaina Proudmoore to always sound like Jaina Proudmoore in English or Spanish or whatever. Oop, did I not get this one over here? Guess not. Thought I did. Yeah, I don't see it anymore. Oh, okay. I think it's at Storm Peaks. Yes. Okay. Here we go. Then there's another one right over here. The enemy. My Jaina. But I'm also talking about characters who have never had voices that we might have seen recurring. Like, does Mankrik have a voice? I don't think he's ever had a voiceover. But like, what if some program or what if some add-on made Mankrik, oh, you sound like this, haha, damn those Quill War, oh, I'm gonna kill them all, woohoo. And then it just kind of kept up like that, and then people got used to it. Yeah, I don't think Blizzard wants that. So, whoop. I think it's probably the voice actor that didn't want AI taking over their job. Oh, this is before, like, this is even before that. Like, well, like, it was, Bellular that was trying to make an add-on or supporting an add-on that was doing something like that. And then they shut it down because, again, they didn't want Blizzard didn't want their trademark being infringed on. Especially with AI now. They definitely don't want to do that, I'm sure. Mankrik didn't, but his wife had her, unfortunately she has gone missing. Oh no, we better find her. I want to see like a follow-up, because now that we've seen, I forgot her name, damn. But now that we've found her in the Shadowlands, and now that Mankrik's moved on, I wonder if there's going to be a follow-up where she'd be like, the first wife shows up for some reason, And Macri's like, oh shit, and then she's like, and then the wife is like, who is this bitch? And then they fight. Because, dude, Shadowland's wife, oh man, she'll fuck her up probably. Anyway, enough of that. Open Heart, that's a cool name. First time chatter, what's up? Watch your content on YouTube all the time. Surprised I wasn't following on Twitch. Cheers. Thank you. Thank you for the kindness. I appreciate that. I used to enjoy the Odd Baylor video, but it's gotten too rage baity for me. I think I saw a recent thumbnail where he pretty much was like, yep, definitely Void Demon Hunters are coming. I'm like, okay, dude. Sure, buddy. Having them come at this time of the expansion wouldn't be a bad idea though, because it's gonna be, you know, it's gonna be mid patch. Yeah, it's during the mid patch. It's the last raid. You know, something to kind of whet the appetite. But also, why? I don't know. Alright, got that one. You can see Demon Hearts are being 12.7. 12.7 content. Damn. No, I'm just kidding. I know what you mean. So did you see how the new raid lets you in? Didn't you get like kind of like sucked in or something like that? Yeah, I think someone posted a video, but like, I think during not testing, you can kind of see this animation just being like, zoop, over. One way that I really liked the way that you got sucked down the water in the Nazjatar and you're brought to the Eternal Palace. I thought that was cool. I thought that was a cool way of like, ooh, let's take you through this kind of like this dark and spooky underwater thing, and all of a sudden, boom, it opens up and there's like the Eternal Palace. I thought that was neat. So in my head, I have a feeling some of the raiders are gonna die. Why is that? Like lag or something? Makes sense because Demon Hunters have kind of won. The Legion is essentially dead except for fragmented factions, so they all need to go hunting something else, and Void is the next bad guy. What if... Here, I'm just going to pull some speculation out my ass now. What if the next spec for Demon Hunters is Titan related? Would that be so far-fetched? Titans become like the next enemy of sorts, and they do some serious damage, and there are people out there who are like, no, I'm gonna do whatever I can to like get vengeance. And then Illidan shows up, you know, with one eye green and the other eye yellow. He's like, oh yeah, fucking Deus Ex Machina, check me out. He's got Titan wings and shit. We'll be like, dude, what happened to you? He's like, it's a long story. And then we'll have a whole patch dedicated to that. By the way, my Demon Hunters, hearken to me. I'm gonna teach you the ways. And they'll be like, Daddy! Daddy's home! Obviously out my ass, but... how's the diamond so big? Was that an add-on you downloaded during your test stream? It was, yeah, it's called Waypoint UI. And it's just like this random... Not random, but... just this huge fucking icon. Yeah, that's way too much. Like that. So Northrend's done, right? Northrend's done. So off to Outland. Let's go. Would Illidan reject the Void like he did the Light? I mean, you think about You know, if we were to re-shoehorn the idea of demon hunters into something that Illidan owns, before he was a demon hunter, he was a pretty damn good arcane caster. You know, and arcane is kind of a Titan-y thing they do. So why not? Illidan could have learned the ways. And like he's gonna have a spec that's like this kind of castery, anti-Titan kind of shit that he learns. Just like Fel. I'm gonna use their own power against them. Rawr. Of course, I don't think people would be a fan of that because it's like, no, Void is way more badass sounding. I'm like, okay, sure, I guess. Edgelords. But, that's just your opinion. What beings are unkillable by multiple old gods? Yeah, dude. Like, what? Like, if you had a choice between Void powers and Titan powers, I would lean towards Titan powers. That to me feels more badass. You know, they can subjugate whole planets, they can conjure up celestial beings and shit like that. Like, they pulled something like Algalon out their pocket, like, hey, here you go, dude. They just grabbed a bunch of stars, crammed them together, and animated them. Yo, you're alive now. If the planet's acting up, just destroy it. You know, no big deal. That's pretty badass. Just Void beings and Titans are unkillable by old gods. Well, old gods are like the poop that Void beings spew out, as far as we know, as far as we've been told by the Titan propaganda, right? You know, Void Lords, they just reach deep into their pockets. Oh, look, old gods, and they just like chuck them out into the universe, right? They land somewhere, and hopefully they do some damage or something like that. That's what we're led to believe so far. Meanwhile, Titans are cruising around trying to clean shit up. That's also what we were led to believe. But what are they truly up to? I think ultimately, like these powers that be, you know, these primordial powers, Void, Light, Titan, blah blah blah, they all seek a certain level of dominance. They seek a certain, you know, and through that struggle, that's how the balance is kept. So if that balance is disrupted, then everything just goes to shit no matter what. If someone wins, everyone loses. You know, it's that sort of thing. That's a kind of a common cosmic trope that we see. Hard to get away from that. Makes sense, especially when we get into something like the Warcraft universe that does try to deal in like cosmic stuff. Yeah, those sorts of abstractions you deal with. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of it, but hey, if that's where they wanted to go, that's where we are. Seems more like the old gods were separate pieces of some sort that were enslaved and weaponized by Void Lords and their rebellion. Could be. It's fun talking about this, but I know, like, in the end, I'm always going to be like, okay, this is what, you know, they decided to do with it. Cool. What happens next? Ah. Like, I'm typically very relaxed in my lore consumption. I don't have anything. I often don't have anything critical to say because I don't look at it like that with that careful eye. But if people have shit to say, I'm like, all right, I'll take your word for it. Bad writing, sure. What add-on is showing my mount speed? Sorry, this is a repeated question. Oh, this right here. This one is called Dragon Rider. 2 words. Dragon Rider. It's really good for measuring speed because you can see like the speedometer and stuff. As long as I hit my acceleration before it bottoms out between like these little this little in between thing here, then I'll consistently stay in vigor speed. You see like how it once it goes away, then I don't get a. Basically, when you use it before it bottoms out, then you get a little bit of extra uptime on your vigor, or you can kind of maximize it. So it's a good teaching tool. Anyway, back to it. Yeah, there are weak throwers that can do it too. I ever since I picked this one up though, I haven't been able to shake it off. It's just easy to use. I think I resized it a little bit, but that was about it. What do you get from my wife? She's incapable of understanding dragon riding. I mean, steady flight these days, it's pretty good. It's at like, what, 400% now? That's all right. You know, when it comes to stuff like this, yeah, dragon riding is a great tool to have because you're going like super fast. But if you're like if you know you're going to be like in a zone for a while, steady flight works just fine. It's fast enough. Like I'd say for gathering, steady flight is the way to go. To me, that's much more easy to manage than skyriding. Starting to realize I'm an add-on-aholic. I have so many, it's hard to remember which one is adding which quality of life update. Yeah, that's why I try my best to... I mean, I run a lot as well, but I try to make sure I know what is what doing. So that's why you see me avoid really big suites. Like, I'll avoid Plumber, I'll avoid Leotrix, and similar add-ons that do a lot of stuff, but it's a lot of stuff. And then if for whatever reason those add-ons like have a problem or whatever, then you get a problem with like, all those things, and it's all bad. But at least knowing what's in there is helpful. Can't use it for the Dragon Rider World Quest, for instance. I use steady flying for all my leveling guys because you can mine from your mounts. I thought you can use a steady flight for the dragon riding stuff, or does it just not turn on when you are? Yeah, are those quests not available? I thought you could do them still. My bad. All right, it's 11 o'clock now. Let's see if there happens to be another news update. Come on, baby. Nope. I use Plumber only to track remaining gilded caches. Smart. That's what confuses me about that add-on author, is like the things he throws together is like, it feels random. Like when I use Narcissus, like I'll see like, you know, like this thing right here. This shows you like your tier set stuff. But I'm like, what does this have to do with Narcissus? At all. I think there's something that's also there for like setting gems, which is very cool. But I feel like it's an unnecessary part of Narcissus, and it should be added to Plumber instead. Narcissus should, the way I look at it, it should just be this. You know, just this sort of like skinning to like show like the different kind of character sheet. It should only be, you know, and also for like setting up screenshots and stuff. Like that's it. And that's cool. When an add-on does like too many things, you start to like kind of miss what it does, and it's like, oh, okay, now okay, if you want this certain feature, you know, download this suite. It's like, oh, this has like way more stuff than I wanted to have, but well, I guess. But no. Oh, it switches you to Dragon Ren for the World Quest. Got it. Okay. Then yes, that would not help at all. I missed. I guess that doesn't matter. I'll go to Shadow Moon Valley first, then Hellfire, then I'll go to Other Draenor. Finally, and I'll finally do these things here. Actually, there's a bunch of stuff that I had marked. Stormheim. Okay. All right, where am I at on burning stuff now? I'm at 582. Okay, so I can definitely buy the shield, but not all the cosmetics. So if I want to get like the head, shoulders, and belt, I believe. If I want to get all of it, I'm gonna probably have to get another alt, or or I guess definitely finish all of the things here. Am I taking the strike this whole week until I can't? Yeah. So we're on what? One arm bandit? Yeah, we could have had that. Damn. We could have had that. I think I learned a decent bit about how Boomkin is supposed to work. So I'm probably gonna try and practice a little bit and learn how to actually play it. I looked at how I did on what's it called on logs. I'm like, oh, I did. That was terrible, and I felt terrible too. Despite having a lot of druid stuff have a good balance between instants and casts, the global cooldown felt really shitty. So it's the same thing with switching targets, where I'm like, okay, I don't really want to debuff. I don't want to apply more buffs to these guys, but I was anyway. So that kind of fucks it up. If anything, I would have done. I would do better with the one button if I just never switch targets. That way, I could just like keep using like big spells, builders, and spenders, and blah blah blah, instead of the one button trying to apply debuffs. Oh well. Otherwise, went all right. I just know I could have done like a bajillion times better. Okay, by a bajillion, I think 20% better. And that would have helped a lot. All my parses, I think, were like gray. Also for my item level, because I didn't optimize a damn thing. I don't have enchants or any of that stuff. Oh. Seen a lot of people say that Blizzard needs to find a way to make everything classic more prevalent since Kata feels so dead. Here's my idea: make any gear you get in classic transmogable in retail, like challenge mode sets or elite PvP sets. Retail players could come play classic for those sets. Could even make the gladiator mounts or other obtainables you get in classic go to your retail account. Any thoughts on that? I think it would be a bad idea, and here's why. No, well, okay, it's not a bad idea, but I don't think it'd be effective, and so here's why. What did you say there? Retail players would come play classic for those sets. I would say that those players, they would feel forced to for the wrong reason. So you would have like these people who come in with a purpose. It's not exactly to enjoy what classic has to offer them. It's because they have a set that they can no longer get, and they gotta have it. So they're gonna show up for that, and they're gonna bounce. So I don't think those people are going to be an effective audience. They're probably gonna be the type who drops in and then just pays for carries. And so what do they provide as a player aside from another opportunity for someone to make gold off of it? I don't know if it would be all that effective. I think what the WoW team should continue to do is what they have been doing, is to focus on what the classic audience wants and then run with it. So that way you can cultivate that classic audience. That's it. No need to force one audience to peel away and come to something else, because the way the bean counters look at it, as long as they're playing something, they're playing something. That's how I look at it, at least. And I'm done with Outland. Now I'm off to Garrison Town. Let's go. Like, I've been saying this a lot about the whole idea of Classic Plus. Like, ooh, they should bring in new story that that the retail people have to make new characters, and so they can experience this new story that they can't experience in their version of the game. I think it'd be a terrible idea, because again, you'd have these people who are joining in just for that, and then they won't see any value out of it. So it's not even as good as creating an alt. They're just forcing themselves to create like this avatar in another game, what they consider another game, so they can experience it and then not have anything else to really get out of it. Dot management is always a little frustrating. At least we were in UK by our tanks. There were riots. It was Oinky and it was Oinky and Grim until Grim bounced, and then it was Oinky and Feared. So they were entertaining. I know for me it's all business, because I'm also because at least definitely during progression I'm like kind of wrangling everyone. Well, and then I always just want my off tank to be a good boy and listen. Just do the thing, do it the way I need you to do, and then we're good. I don't want to think about it. Your Garrison's the Christmas all year? Yeah, dude. Okay. Let me, since I'm here, where's my pets at? Where are my homies at? I think they already like ran off because I spawned in here. Well, okay, here's one. There's my Quillen Cub. Where's the rest of my buddies? I know there's like puppies like all over the place. Oh, there's one. There's a pug. Pug. Oh, and then here's a bear puppy, is what I like to call him. All right, where's Sunny? Sunny's like so easy to see, but I am failing to find him. Yoo-hoo. Okay, that's Fire Puppy. Oh, there's Molten Corgi. Yeah. Funny how the pug is the one, or the Quillen's the one that's following me. I think so far Sunny's my favorite of the puppies, because he's most like my old dog. He's hiding. Scumbag. Was that him over there? Oh, there he is. It's Sunny. Nah, I wanted to find him by him. I don't want to just like target him. There's our buddy. Yeah, puppy. Oh, the ear's all funny. Okay, anyway. Let's head out. All right. Yeah, this is also not sorting in order, but that's okay. I play Classic, it's alright, very slow, but I like visiting every other moment where I get to enjoy the ambience. Like someday, I'll go back and enjoy the Alliance side of questing, because I never did. I never did the vanilla quest. Okay, I did some, but not all the vanilla questing on Alliance side. But now that I know it's there, it's there. So it'll be there for my enrichment when the time comes. For that though, I ain't gonna sweat. So yeah, like that to kind of conclude that whole classic conversation. I yeah, I'll go back to what I think the devs should focus on, or the audience that the devs should focus on. They should focus on the classic audience and not the modern. I think they had said at one point that the overlap between classic and modern players, it's not, you know, the Venn diagram of that, like it's not a very big overlap. So they should mostly focus on the bigger chunks rather than the small one, because you only get that smaller piece of the pie and you run the risk of turning off that majority of players. And that is my presentation. Thank you. So, all right. Where to? It's just one per zone. One per zone. So next spot should be Talador. You missed getting Sunny? Oh, bummer. I don't know if they had them on sale as a bundle at some point. I think they did. I mean, they'll come back. They always come back. They'll pull them out the vault. They'll put it in a big old puppy bundle pack to take more of your damn money. It's just over that mountain and that mountain. Yeah. Hey, that's how you do it. I mean, think of how zones were separated in vanilla. Like, ask yourself, if you're an old school player, how did you travel from Mulgore to Desolace? Well, you had to go the distance, man. You couldn't just like hop over to the other spot. You had to go east out of Mulgore into the Barrens, or Southern Barrens, and then head up north. Well, there are two ways you could do. You could head up north the Barrens and go through Stone Talon Mountains, go all the way west. You climb up a little bit, then you start dropping down. Then you're at northern. Shit. Feralus? No. Desolate. No. You would hit Desolace afterwards. No. Shit. Okay, I don't remember my damn geography anymore. I'm pretty sure Desolace is. Shit. I'm not remembering. I'm going to think about this. My geography test. So, okay. I do know for sure. If you start in the Barrens and you go south, that's Thousand Needles. And then when you go west of Thousand Needles, then you hit Feralus. And then if you go north of Feralus, you hit something. I thought it was. I'm not gonna look at chat either. I'm gonna figure this out. Definitely west of Mulgore is Desolace. Yeah. So north of Desolace has got to be Stone Talon. That's got to be it. And then somehow, because I'm trying to think between Desolace and Feralus. Did you get there? Damn. Damn. Okay, I'm gonna go with my final answer is gonna be Stone Talon, right? And then Desolace, and then Feralus. Because, yeah, geographically that's gotta make sense. Let's look. Oh god, this map. Oh, too much stuff. Okay, so Mulgore, Desolace. Yeah, that's what I thought, bitch. And then Feralus. Okay. All right. Scared me, man. That scared me. Alright, once Dragon Riding came out, I went north out of Stormwind and realized that the Dwarf and Gnome starting zone is literally just north of... Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Geoguessr, I can do that, man. All right. Okay. Well, I'm glad I was right. I would have been upset with myself otherwise. Okay, we're gonna go to Spires next, I think. Spires in the Grand. Oh, no, Grand's closer. Okay. That's right. So, Nagrandy Wandy. I would love to see a book one day. The book of that kind of like tells the tale of how the Warlords of Draenor developed. You know, what was like the decision making that made them like cut this and that? What made them change their minds on certain things? What sort of limitations they, roadblocks did they run into? Yeah, I would pay to read a book like that. Oh, I need to turn it in. Smarty pants. So anyway, the reason why I was going with that whole Desolate thing was someone was talking about mountains. And it was very fascinating how back in the day, that was how WoW created that sense of distance and scope and epicness when you're traveling from one spot to another. You know, it was one thing to travel like Eastern Kingdoms. It was one thing to travel from like I remember this as a warlock. Rolling it as an undead warlock, and you're traveling like all the way down to I think like the wetlands for some reason. Something had to do with your succubus pet quest. You know, and you had to go quite some distance. You were doing that quest before you hit level 40, so you didn't have even like a basic bound. And that fell far. But then over in Kalimdor, that was it was a little bit different, you know, and for the most part, zones were separated by like these giant mountain ranges and stuff that were just there for some reason. But, you know, it was there to create that sense of distance, and it worked. Nowadays, we can like just kind of fly over all of it, and we can see how the facade works. I do long for really big zones. I miss that. I would love to have like these big zones with big gaps, even if there's like just ambient stuff in between. They just kind of put in filler that doesn't do anything. I would just like having that. Of course, I would like to have stuff to do in there as well. Like it'd be cool if there was like wagons that are like crossing through, like little things to bring those otherwise pointless, quote, pointless areas to life. I think it would add to the ambiance. This reminds me of when I used to do level 1, 2, and 1 challenges from Stranglethorn to Eastern Blacklands. Oh, you would have had fun doing my guild races, man. Imagine this, Dreyfus. Imagine you're a level 10 character. Like the last race we did was in Dragon Isles. So imagine starting. Where did I have them? I think I had them start in Waking Shores. They started in Waking Shores, and the route that I had them take basically was to go all the way. Oh, shoot, I forgot what it is I had them do. They needed to pick up certain items, in the zones. No. They started in Azure Span. Yeah, they started in Azure Span in the Tuskar area. They had to walk all the way up this part of the span through the Narn Plains to pick up a certain item here. Kind of a scavenger hunt too. I think it was 2 items actually. Yeah, they had to pick up some items here. Then they needed to make their way to Thaldrazis somehow, because there is no road to Thaldrazis. They had to like spawn their way there. And then once they did get to Thaldrazis, they needed to climb their way up a ledge that was suspended. And the only way they could get to that ledge was through like kind of like death. They had to death their way up there and then release and then make their way down and then respawn. and then find my character. It was a cool race. It's a shame I still haven't found like a cool one for what's it called, for War Within yet. I'm working on it. I just haven't found a good one. That, and I don't have a lot of gold on me either. I blew it all on like sales and stuff. Okay. Shadow Moon. I still want to do a stream with hide and seek on Nazareth. Just need a lot of participants. That's kind of tough though. Yeah, that can be a little bit tough. I mean, well, if there are shenanigans, if there are bad actors, that kind of ruins the whole fun of it. But that can be a lot of fun. I'm a big lazy butt though, so it's not something that I don't think I have it in me to organize. But I would like to at some point try and do like a housing battle. You know, like do like features and stuff. Like, I don't care if I do that shit like every day for the rest of my streaming career. Just looking at houses and just admiring shit. I'm hoping that gamers like end up creating like doing that much creation for us to like gush over and check out. Cause that'd be fucking sick. Alright, we're done here. So I think I'm finally ready. I think to go to Eastern Kingdoms and Calendar. Yeah, I think we're good. But how many things do I have? So I have 687. Okay, that's kind of a lot. Let's buy what I can now. Remember when I was a vanilla Night Elf Rogue and I had to trek out the Stormwind to level with my friends, which necessitated the slog of walking my lobby ass through the wetlands to Iron. Yep. But you didn't go to wetlands to Stormwind, right? Wetlands to Stormwind, then Stormwind to Ironforge. Because I mean, that would have been the route if you knew that there was a tram. And if you did not, it's kind of messed up for your friends to not tell you. Unless they also didn't know, then hey, that's how it is to be done back then. I see resurgence of MTV. Yeah, oh yeah, dude. I need to pull up music and be like, all right, dude. You know, it needs to have like some cool production value. There's gonna be competition for that, for sure. Wetlands is also a run killer in level 1 runs because of the crops. I don't remember that too well. It's been a while. Oh, dude, there's this oh, we're doing squats. Fuck this. All right. There was a Reddit thread that I saw of like some dude. He was totally embarrassing his wife by spontaneously being like, hey, what's up, dude? Doing like a selfie as if he was a YouTube video or something like that. It was a goof. All right. I don't have shoes on, but it's okay. Oh boy, this actually helps a lot. My legs are super stiff. That's 8. Oh, and we're doing roulette. Let's go. Let me turn off this debuff there. All right. So, what do we get this time? We get... Ooh. That's brutal. Excellent. Woof. Big freaking woof. All right. Oh yeah, lore walking stuff. Still haven't done that yet. Someday. Someday I'll get to that. But first, the vendor should be... Oh, I think there's like a There's like a small spattering of stuff I can get here too. Oh, I totally is this a thing? Slay the Frostly Lieutenant or somewhere around here. Okay, so I might as well pick these up because they are here in this region. And I think this one's to catch things. I get 5, that's not worth it. I'll get that one some other time. And then this, I get a freebie. Yay, gold. All right, so where is the vendor? You are not the vendor. You are the vendor. Okay. All right, so I am buying the shield. That's a guaranteed one. And I guess I'll pick up... Oh, that's a cloak thing that looks like a shield. Sort of. Well, it's kind of neat, though. Yeah, so I'll pick that one up, too. Oh, I can't. I'm already low. Damn it. Yeah, I need a lot. Holy crap. So I'll hold off. But at the very least, if nothing else, I know I got this shield. Yeah. Your stream is acting up? I hope mine isn't acting up. I feel okay so far. Alright. So we're traveling. Oh, there's one all the way in Teldrassil too. Oh boy. Well, since I'm in Durotar, let's start here. Last minute thing. Any news? No news. I'm in like total player housing news withdrawal, man. It's okay. That's 5. Wait, I only get 5 here? I thought I would get like 15. Man. Oh well. Alright, so I'll head north. Then I'll work my way down. Because navigating Hyjal is kind of a pain. Going all the way up, all the way down, and all that. So I just have to get that out of the way first. But first, Ashara. Oh, I should get all the things, waypoints. Oh yeah, I haven't queued up either. Okay, so calendar. Can I like highlight all these? Okay. All right. Mobile is being weird. All right. You're good. This is probably the saddest of the capitals. Okay, it's not the saddest. I think I'd say like the troll, the Dark Spirit Troll one is probably one of the saddest. But this one's like you're not here for very long at all, and then you're just done forever. We have not had to come back here. Which is like super sad. We'll start. We'll go up to Winter Spring first. Yeah, Winter Spring's really high up there too. I mean, it's high altitude, so I get it. But man, it's like it's a wall. Yeah, so I think I'll get that Dell video out hopefully in like 3 or so hours, something like that. I'll try to get out this afternoon. From the Dell to curios to trinkets and what we've learned. Now, okay, Hydral's just gonna feel awkward because it's like all the way up there. And then all the way back down. It's kind of like climbing up that whole, that one mountain in Dragonflight. I remember once upon a time that felt like such an accomplishment. People were like trying really hard to get up there, and we're like, oh no, I gotta get like the rest of the dragon riding achievements and blah 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 blah. A lot of debate over that. This one's in here now. We go back down again. And I think I have to. I think getting to Azuris, I can't just fly there, right? I have to take a boat, or like an instance kind of thing. I can't just go. What's that add-on with the 29 pins? It is map pin enhanced. 3 words. And that's one of the big features of it. I can set up multiple pins. And then just find the thing that I want. I mean, having 29 pins is kind of a lot. So... And I want to find a way to sort them in order. I thought there was a way to do it, but I don't think there is. Yeah, auto check nearest pin. Boom. So also I can add more. Ooh, it's a lot. Yeah, don't do that. That was a mistake. No, it's like a favorite thing for me to use. I should mention it during the last week of the holiday. It's like, yo, if you're still trying to get like your stuff, here's one way to do it. So I mean, some people still prefer TomTom. That's cool. but I super dig this. Okay, so I now gotta go to that tree thing here. Bloop. Oh, was someone right there too? Oh no, that's NPC. Never mind. Damn these thick trees. Ah! Alright. Is that a blood elf chilling here? No, human. Okay. Alright, so now... Yeah, I'm pretty sure I gotta take a boat. And I'm fairly confident I can take it from Darnassus. Or not from Darnassus, but from the docks. Here. Boat. I believe you take a... Oh, really? It's a portal now? Oh. Is it a portal like here on the dock? Or is it somewhere else? Like, I don't have to go to, Rutherford? No, Aubrey. Rutherford? I don't know where that came from. Yeah, let's see if there's a portal here. Oh, I see a portal. Oh, that's so... That's so unimmersive, Blizz. God. Wait, Exodar? Wait, am I in the Exodar now? Okay. That would have been, that would have been bad. Alright. That'd be like being deposited straight to prison or something. Be like, uh-oh. Yeah, that feels kind of dull. I like taking the boats. I missed the boats and zeppelins and stuff. I thought that was cool. It wasn't exactly like this social, amazing experience, but I just thought it was cool. Like, I wouldn't mind there being like, instead of a tower or whatever, I'm sorry, instead of a portal room, I would have loved like a air dock kind of thing, kind of like what they have in Orgrimmar, just like something a bit more extensive, and then like the boats or zeppelins or whatever, they just kind of like zipped across like at super high speed. I think the problem with that though is that if there was lag, it would end up dropping people in the middle of nowhere, and that would just really suck. But I'd still rather have that. I'd rather have the inconveniences and the struggle of being thrown off of the boat. Portals are weak. They're weak and they're for lazy people. I'm half joking. I'm partially serious about that. Is Extra getting the same treatment as Silvermoon is in Midnight, or is that later? No idea. No idea. I mean, the question to ask is, like, are we going to do something with the Exodar? Because I think the thing that would happen in this case, it would be, like, they would relocate. And I don't know where to go. Shit. Is it here? I see boats, but I see a dock there, too. No, I think it's south. That's bad. I totally forgot where I came from. Let's go with here. I'm sure it won't be that bad. Oh no, I already got the fire over in Darnassus, so I headed out already. Oh, this doesn't look like it. That looks like a wrong spot. Okay. So I guess it was that main road there. Shit. So I'm at 407. So I can buy a second thing that costs 350. Still a ways to go though, man. And I'm gonna have to hold off on finishing this until I do that delve video. But it shouldn't take too long. Should be alright. Eventually made it. I think. There, yeah, there's the portal. If you do the fire quest throughout all of Eastern Kingdoms and Summer Calendar, you'll get to 350 just around Stone Town. Well, I'm starting backwards, though. I mean, I'll get what I can. Too bad these aren't... They're not warbound, right? Yeah, they're not warbound. But I think once I hit, like, one or two more milestones, then I'll be like, alright, I'll, like, switch to a different character or something. But still a ways to go. Oh, did I miss? Oh, I missed a fire thing. Oh, whatever. That's just like, what, 5 or 10? I'll live with that. You starting Stranglethorn and work my way upwards up to Silverman like I'm mowing the lawn. I mean, this part's not troublesome, but the continents are still pretty wide. You know, they're zones wide. So you're doing a lot of zigging and zagging and all that. But thankfully, skywriting is plenty fast. Like, never mind the slowdown. We're still slowed down a little bit, right? Yeah, 705, yeah. So not that much slower. Still okay. I don't know why that one's not showing up right. Oh. Alright. I wonder what kind of weird feature we'll see in Midnight, though. Are we going to get some MacGuffin-y kind of thing? Maybe not a borrowed power, but is there going to be like this? Or what will they do with talents? Or what will they do with hero talents? Will they just make the hero talent thing longer? That's the only... I guess that's the only reasonable conclusion I can come up with. I mean, if they really wanted to, they could add a... Like notice here, you have like Lightsmith here in the middle. What if they just add like another one? So we have like a second kind of hero spec that we choose from? Or maybe we can have two at once? I don't know. But then there goes that whole feeling of choice if you can get both. Yeah, then that'd be kind of weird. He has no problem with widening the trees. No, I think that's a smart way to do it. That's something that I've been saying for years and years. Like, yo, they should just make the trees wider instead of deeper. So that way we get more kinds of choices, but we still make the same number of choices. You know, it's a way of avoiding bloat, but at the same time, min-maxers won't see the same kind of value because they're only going to see like the one build anyway. You know, whatever the heck is best in slot for them, and not acknowledge anything else. You know, and that's a fair take too. I mean, like covenants, I dare, yes. But it is a smart way to go about it, I think. Or they just give us artifact weapons again. Boom, artifact weapons, Heart of Azeroth. Choose your legendary cloak. Choose your legendary rings, you know, because there's a couple of those. Let's just throw in corruptions, Azerite powers, all the good stuff. It'll be do all that for Last Titan. It'll be the Infinity War of borrowed power. Bring it all back, baby. And the Mage Tower. Make us fight, you know, 2 Mage Tower bosses at the same time. Let's get serious, all right? I'd be very amused by that. Yeah, I'm just gonna follow the waypoints. Let's see what chaos following the waypoints puts me through. I got 11 minutes. I don't think Midnight can get any more hype than player housing. I have to wonder if there's going to be anything that adds additional hype on top of that. I mean, of course, there's going to be like the excitement over like new stuff. I think the idea of a revamped Silvermoon, I think that excites a lot of people. Blood Elves, after all, you know, they are the most popular race, if I recall correctly. And those who play as Blood Elves are superior people. They are just better. Healthier, prettier, just better people. Of course they need to cater to this. The best... where to? It says this way. Okay. Follow the chaos. I'm going to end up seeing like 2 more waypoints that are like just so far away from each other. Now this way. Oh, we're going all the way to... I don't know where. Southern Barrens. Now I guess I'm going to Mulgore? Sure. They're meant for those delusions? Nah, man. I'll take it all as is. Wouldn't mind another artifact weapon as long as points are unlocked count wide. I hated dual specking my artifact weapons. It did feel kind of like a chore, because like at first, I know their whole idea was, oh, you're going to gain experience per weapon. And people are like, no, we ain't having that. We need to catch up, Blizz. And so they're like, fine, here you go. Hope we can easily get the fishing artifact. You think that's going to be in for the Legion remix? That'd be kind of cool. I really want to get a mission table for a player housing though. Sorry, this sounds kind of random. I would love to have a mission table that's, you know, specific to player housing, not gold making, not, you know, nothing like that. I just want it to be something that's focused primarily on like getting decor and stuff like that. I think that'd be cool. And this is not what I was looking for. Wait. I don't want to toss more torches, man. I'm going this way. When I played EQ, the biggest guild on my server was Duckhor. Ha ha ha. Gonna make a Demon Hunter for remix. Nice. Chances are pretty good I'm gonna play a paladin. That's like the law. What's that? Hailstone Lieutenant. Oh, there's an actual quest for me to do. Oh, what other quests did I do that are there that I like totally missed out on? Shit. Yeah, were there others? Damn. Okay, maybe not. I'll have to like review those later. Oh shit. Okay, well, you're dead, so there's that. Yoo-hoo. Slay the Hailstone Lieutenant summoned from the Ice Stone. There's a count. Oh, wait. This sounds familiar. Oh, that's the Ice Stone. Okay. Woo. Yay. Alright, cool. I was looking at that campfire thing. I'm like, okay, is that what I gotta do? But no. Alright, so where am I going next? Thing. Stone Talon? There it is. Ah, Stone Talon. Okay. Table that makes work orders for NPCs to fulfill. Ah, how the turntables. I think I'll make a new people appear so I can have rest at XP anywhere I want for both factions. Breaking the law. Okay, I'm not being diverted too much. Too much. Where to now? We're going to Desolus. You know, good idea. Good idea. Oh, man. What am I having for lunch? Pizza. Some leftover pizza. Good shit. But now, like, there's all this salad that I've been putting off. Now I gotta make sure I eat all that. So, gotta be good now. After this. What toppings? It was barbecue chicken. Barbecue, and then there's some other stuff on there. There's like a little bit of sausage. No, not sausage. I think pepperoni too. And I like some with pineapple and onions. Pineapple pizza is not bad. It's just not something that I'd order myself. I'm more of a more savory than sweet when it comes to pizza. Barbecue sauce is different. You know, it's sweet, but that's about the limit. Or actually thinking of like a dessert pizza. Yeah, I typically don't think of that. If I want a pie, then I want a pie. I want like a banana cream pie, not a pizza pie. Know what I mean? I'm having people that like barbecue sauce. I'm one of the core purposes of pizza to me is getting some marinara in my life. No, I feel you. It's just been a long time since I had the barbecue chicken pizza here at this place, like years, like 10 years or something like that. And I finally gave myself the opportunity. I'm like, oh yeah, that one place, it's still there. Otherwise, there's a deep dish that we usually get. It's a deep dish with pepperoni, sausage, and artichoke. Hella good. Damn. I kind of want that now. Fortunately, they're far enough away, and they're expensive enough to be like, nah, I'm good. I'm all right. Whoop. What? Oh, waypoint, go away. There we go. Nostalgia getting home from school, no homework, and one of those with Final Fantasy 3 to play with. 3. Now that's ancient. He's like one with ham and pineapple, but then when I was a kid, but now the pineapple is so overpowering. I mean, it's just that question of, do you want your pizza sweet or not, right? That's how I look at it most of the time. And most of the time, I prefer my pizza to not be that sweet. I drained the blood from so many people in June Awakening Techno Vampire Blood Harvest Simulator. Ooh, is that a thing? Do you like harvest their blood and turn it into stuff? Because that's giving me some serious RimWorld vibes. Like what I'm doing currently in my colony is I have like this dude that controls a bunch of robots. And so bandits come by, and so the robots, they take them out and harvest all of them. And the leader, my mechanic dude, he doesn't participate in any of that because he'll flip out. But all the robots, they'll dismantle the body, separate it, process the meat into like food for the food for the animals. Yeah. Meanwhile, my colon's heat's good though, so he's fine. I don't think you told me about the turrets though. Blue, did you? Did you answer the turret question for me? Because I don't remember what your answer was. But I guess the other thing though about Dune is that it costs money. I don't think I'd want to pay to play it. Oh yeah, there are no automated turrets. Right. And that's why I forgot about it. Like to me, I like bases. You know, I like that sort of like base building where the base can become its own like kind of self-sufficient thing. The exception would be like if other players are attacking you, then you know they'll bypass whatever the hell thing you set up. You know, they'll bypass the traps, they'll dismantle them, they'll power through it, whatever. But otherwise, from like a PvE standpoint, oh, I love like that feeling of making your base like impregnable. Oh yeah, or impregnable, but you know, it can get worn down and you got to maintain it a little bit. That's cool. After I got Dune, I found out about Grounded 2. The starting area is the size of the first game. And that one also doesn't have turrets, right? Man and his priorities. Because you told me some good things about it. I was looking at it. I was like, huh. Yeah, not automated. Why, man? Ugh. Like having a little bit of automation there, or having like NPCs that help defend your spot and all that. Like those are so cool. I love that. Not having that is a big stinker butt. That's right, stinker butt. No one likes stinker butt. Oh, right here. All right, I'll finish this zone, and then it's off to lunch and worky time. They're giving you an ant and a spider. That's pretty sick, though. Nice. Oh, I did finish the zone. Okay. Oh, I'm almost done with the continent. Okay, we're gonna do, like, what, 2 more things? Yeah. One thing all the way over in what? Swamp of Sorrows? Or not Swamp of Sorrows, Dustwallow Marsh, I believe. Yeah. See, I knew I'd miss something. Stinkerbell, the long-forgotten cousin of Tinkerbell. The problem child, you know? Gotta understand that. That's how it goes. One last check, no news, okay? And then I gotta hoof it all the way back down to... I guess I should have went to Ngoro first, but... It's okay, easy to find. Just find the sword. Oh wait, there's no sword. Shit. Damn, weather. Hiding my giant swords. What's... Yeah, no kidding. I'm blind. I don't know where it is. Okay, one last fire. Yeah, how come I can't see it? My view distance? Oh, oh no, view distance is fine. Yeah, I guess it was the weather or something. Or it just up and grew legs and left. Yeah. Bye. Watch the sword just like spreads. Giant legs, gets up. Leaves. Oh, you know, maybe it's a dormy thing. Yeah, I think I made it this. I think I made it hide, probably. Otherwise, no way it wouldn't be visible by now. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I phased it out. The pool was cool. What if it was Sargeras' shield that was embedded in Solstice? Surprise! Or we go there and it turns out there's a giant log in its place. Anyone get the reference? No? Yes? Maybe? There are no bonfires with the sword. I mean, at one point I might have phased it though. So. Different reference, but still funny. All right. Oh, I think there's another thing there too. See, Ghosty gets it. You got it. There we go. All right, let's turn in what I got. See what I can buy. It's better than good, it's wood. Oh, yeah, that's bad. You did it wrong. That's what you get for being such a young person, Blue. God, trying to pretend you're like, you know, on our level. Kashaw. I wonder if there are any nostalgia shirts out there that are still showing some Ren and Stimpy stuff. I'm so very young. Yeah, skibbity, whatever the fuck people say these days. Alright, so what can I buy? I bought the shield, as promised, and I have 567 things with which to buy stuff. So I will buy... I think there was a thing that was going for like $1.80 or $1.50, something like that. I think it's you. Yeah, so one thing for $1.50. The other things are $3.50 each. So with what I've got, I guess I'll go buy two things actually. So I have this. So I'll buy the cloak and I'll buy the belts, the new belts. So I have a feeling I'm only going to be able to get... I doubt I'll be able to get 700. Because I've already gotten 700, 850, and then I still have 67 on me. So I think I'll be able to get one more thing. I hope. Methinks. Crossing the fingers. I might have to go for the back for those over there, but then I'll just like get these. And with any luck, get enough. Currency needs to be warbound. It would be nice if it was warbound, yeah. But I mean, the fact that we could just buy the stuff separately anyway, I just need to math that out right. It would just be a convenient thing if I can, if they did change it into warbound currency. Only reason that brain rot garbage is loud in my house is because my cats are entertained by some of the videos. I didn't do the event boss today yet. Not today. But that'll get me a little bit more too. Oh, I can get it daily? Yeah, so well, if I can just get one thing, then I'm cool. And I'm hoping that this will get me like the one. If not, I'll be really close and I could just kind of like, you know, do the dailies or do the fire things and that'll get me the rest of the way. But anyway, it's lunchtime. It's time for me to go. Time for dinner. Time for lunch. And then try to put out a video as fast as I can. So, off I go. You folks have a great rest of your day, and may your loots be merry, and I'll see y'all for the next day. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and as always, stay breezy. Bye!